everybody, and welcome back after yesterday's matches to CB Gaming Draft Tournament. Today, we have the semifinals. Today, we have six possible games today on the stream, and it's me, Sultan, with Mario today, with Matthew in the production. How are you doing, Marius?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm just excited to see this thing right here. I've casted a few of these teams before. I've seen a few of these teams. I'm friends with a bunch of these guys, like Extinction. This is like a very exciting thing, because it's the start of the season. These ranks are perfect to like spectate for the start of the season because I feel like no one has any idea what they're doing half the time. So, I'm just very excited to get on with this.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, we're already going through the bands pretty fast. We're going into the picks almost. Just before going into the picks, what do you think about the bands? Because there's
The
some like meta bands with like the Maokai and stuff, I think.
I'm seeing a lot of jungle and support bans here. I think they're just trying to like, ban out like who they think most likely will be the best player in the other team. And the very interesting thing is that seeing the Diana get first picked, that's a very unusual thing. Maybe I don't know if they're trying to do Diana Yasuo because usually if you blind pick Diana first, you like give the enemy team a lot of options. And we see the reply with the Belveth. I still haven't seen Belveth ever since the new season started. So I'm interested to see how that goes. And
Yeah.
yeah, but for the bands, like very support heavy jungle, and then the GP, a very comfortable, safe pick for a lot of teams. And
Yeah,
it seems like they don't want to let the commanders have it.
exactly. And like we see the Lucian again, I think it's been one of still the most played ADCs in the bot lane, especially like when paired up with Nami. We see it a lot. Belveth and Diana, I think those are two champions that like kind of had different build paths, especially of late. Like one attack speed like Nashers into Jaxos for Diana, and then like Bork into Jaxo for Belveth. This like tank bruiserish builds are really popular these days, really tanky. You still dish out a lot of damage. And then the rest of the picks, Caitlyn Karma versus Lucian Nami. Caitlyn Karma is a really bully type of lane. You have the rage advantage. If they can space out well, I feel like that would be a really strong one. But I've played against Lucian Nami here and there, and then like those two, you just don't expect the damage, but then they just one shot you. So I can't say much about that one.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they went with Caitlyn Karma. Maybe it's a little bit more like comfortable for them, but I would have liked to see the Varus Karma. As a Varus, I feel like he brings so much flexibility to the team compared to the Caitlyn, But if you're more comfortable in the Caitlyn, being able to siege, being able to like do all of those things, like go ahead. And the Karma very powerful right now, especially if you buy Radiant Virtues like first item. Every time you press ult, you just perma heal your team. It's a very OP item. And then, oh wow, just I was gonna talk about the bands coming out for the soul laners, and then an instant pick Rise. That's very weird, as the other team can definitely reply with like anything they want to. They can pick an assassin mid. They can even pick a Yasuo if they want, because I feel like Yasuo here with Diana very good for the dive, especially against Lucian, Nami, and Rise, as they don't have like a lot of mobility. It's
Yeah.
mostly just the Lucian dash, and then Belveth, very mobile champion, but you're never going to be going for her. You're going to be going for their bot lane or their mid lane. And I like
Yeah.
the Ornn. Like here, you can just top it off with the Yasuo, and there's like the Cherry on top. You get the wombo combo, you get the siege potential, you get the team fight skirmish potential. This is a very like nice and controlled draft from the commanders, and for the Bills, that's a super aggressive draft that might be hard to pull off. And I feel like it might depend all on the Rise. If the Rise is able to
Yeah.
get Prio mid and start moving bot, but instead of the Yasuo, we're gonna be seeing the Victor. They want to make sure that they don't let the Rise like get Prio, and they want to lock him into the
Okay.
lane.
And then the
Wow.
answer that comes as Shen. I agree with you with the Yasuo because I think Victor still works fine here. It's just maybe the Commander's build like team comp is a little bit AP heavy now, other than the Caitlyn. But yeah, I think they have like a much safe, just controlled draft. Like they can play for the team fights. They can kind of just let the Victor and Orange scale. On the other side, you have Belveth, you have Lucian Nami. Those are champions that kind of want to just like get snowballed, get it rolling in the early game, and then just like demolish the enemy team in the mid game. I've personally seen a bunch of Rise players like just live view them as well, and the Rotophages, Seraphs into Rabadons is just like a ridiculous build that gives you like 650 AP, a bunch of a bunch of mana and HP as well, just in 3 item power spike. So that is also something to like just keep an eye at. I feel like the Shen kind of is trying to put the things together where the Bills side will be trying to make super aggressive plays early on, and especially after 6. Even if Shen gets disrupted by the Ornn, that extra shield might provide some help towards maybe diving this Caitlyn Karma, maybe just like potential invades and all that. I feel like Bills, especially in a draft type of thing where you don't really have too much synergy with each other, sometimes these just full send it team comps work. Sometimes.
Yeah, especially with the Sen. I feel like the Sen might be what helps Bills a lot in the early and mid game, you know? They're gonna want to play for that Lucian Nami post level 6. As soon as Sen hits that level 6, you know? Force like a 4-man dive and everything like that. And I really want to see how Commanders reply to this, you know? If I'm the Commanders, if I'm Diana, I'm going for the Rift Herald as soon as possible. And, you know, just trying to play off top side.
Yeah. And also, not only that the drafts, I also like know some of these players and they love these champions. I know Barak, he's a big time Victor player. It's again a comfort pick for him. Ixie, I've seen him on Diana a bunch. Kobita on Ornn as well. These are like mainly just comfort picks coming from the side of commanders. Plus, there is some I guess, how can I say it? There's some synergy on the Bills side as well. Their support and AD, they're like playing on the same team. The mid top for Bills, they're playing on the same team. On the other side, Commanders, they kind of have a bit from everywhere, all everyone from the different teams. So it will be interesting. I do think Bills with their team comp with some um, pre-existent synergy, it might be a total fiesta with like, I don't know, 20 kills at 10 minutes maybe. I hope that that just makes it that much better.
Yeah, and there it's gonna be very interesting just to see the early game Dragon and Rift fights, and just how like each team facilitates them. You know, like even commanders, I just want to like leave bot side alone and like try to like let them 2v2, or at least like if you see the Belveth bot, try to trade away from the into the top side. You know, try to get that early Rift Herald. Try to make sure you punish the Sen if he ults bot by taking his tower. You want to make sure that you're like cross map playing very efficiently and not just letting the Sen take over the map with his ultimate and being able to punish your own bot lane for no reason. You know.
Yeah. And sometimes I see that like people just tend to just leave Ornn versus Shen in the top lane, just let them have it at each other. I feel like Ornn is just sometimes I just cannot even believe they say this is scaling tank. Then he just like 1v1 kills, like goes for a 1v2 and kills people. It is a really strong champion, and especially with the latest item changes, I feel like e- ever Heartsteel, I think Heartsteel or Jackshire, like either one just facilitates this champion that much more. So, like, if you get him ahead, the enemy team is going to struggle with killing the backline. And afterwards, even in the early game, like, just the ultimate value, the wombo combos that they can pull off with Diana, with Victor, with Ornn, it is looking kind of scary. On the other side, they can do some things without their ultimates. I feel like Diana is more ultimate reliant than a bit Belveth, because Belveth's dueling, especially with the E level 3, that champion just becomes, I think, a menace. Especially watching Riddy, a resident Belveth one trick. That guy, I don't know. Even with before level 6, that guy just pops off. So I'm expecting a lot from this Belveth, especially knowing that the biggest rank difference in this game is in the jungle. So CB Sir Jackson, he's kind of is put in a position where
Yeah.
he should be carrying.
And let's look at the runes really quick. I'm very interested to see if the Orin did take Unsealed Spellbook or he just stuck with Grasp. So he did stick with Grasp instead of Unsealed Spellbook. Very interesting, you know? If I'm the Orin, I'd rather have Unsealed Spellbook and make sure that, you know, since I'm going to be staying in the top lane and farming while Sen's going to be ulting in the bot lane, I want to make sure I have those extra summoner spells to help out my team the moment I join them. But he did go for the Demolish, which I'm happy about. You know, he will make sure that he gets a few plates and everything like that. And then for the jungle, just very standard runes for both sides. I'm surprised Diana didn't take free boots and CDR. She might be looking for a more aggressive playstyle. While in the mid lane, let's see what they will have. In the mid lane, we do see a Victor with the Summoner Aerie and a Scorch. So he's going to be looking to punish the Rise early game, try and poke him a lot, while the Rise will be looking for a roam style of playstyle since he does have that water walking, you know, to start to make sure that he can walk bot, walk top, and make an ult back. And then very standard runes for both AD carries. The Caitlyn did not go cookies, so I wonder if she's gonna start with 3 potions longsword, or if she's just gonna be going for like the normal route. As Lucian will be looking for an advantage in the laning phase since he took those cookies. And then for the supports, just very standard runes. Nami with the cookies, Karma with the bomb plating. You know they're gonna want to play very aggressive, so this is gonna be a very aggressive game, and it's gonna be very interesting to see.
Yeah, and with barely a few seconds left, let's just throw it a really short break, and once we're back with the game, we will see you guys then.
Welcome
And
everybody to game one. Sorry for cutting you off, Sultan. You can go right ahead.
nope, that's my bad. Just like some chemistry issues, we'll get that out of the way by the fifth game, I think. But we get into the game now, and we see a little bit of an aggressive wordplay coming from the red side, really walking deep there with the rise. The Ornn is moving, the whole team is moving.
Oh,
The
the
Kino
orange
Simp
started
might
with
be an
W.
issue. Flash
Yeah,
auto for the knockup. No.
yeah, he could have maybe waited to take E, or instead of going for the Rise that does have Water Walking, he could have like maybe looked for the Belveth instead, you know, because Rise with Water Walking is able to just run away. They are able to pick up the ward in the blue buff, which means Orin will hit level 2 from the first wave and try to get the wave under Science Tower as fast as possible. We do see some return wards from the Lucian though and the Nami, you know, trying to make sure that they can spot like where this Diana will be as soon as possible. And
Yeah.
yeah, just a very standard place. Both teams are gonna know where each jungler started. As um, Wupong and Kobita were able to place a word in the Belvet's blue buff, and just a just very standard starts. Very
Yeah.
nice poke from the Karma here. And where do you see that the Caitlyn and Karma just trying to shove that wave under tower as soon as possible, and both junglers are pathing down both. What does Diana need
Yeah.
to make sure that she does is that she doesn't let the Belvet get there before her and screw over what this duo lane of like Caitlyn and Karma are trying to create.
Yeah. I guess they just crashed wave one. I don't really see this too often, like getting a first wave crash, but yeah, they're just gonna hard push the second one too. They might be maybe even looking for an invade after extinction is done with the wolves, but I think a little bit slow on the not slow, but Sir Jackson is doing an interesting one. Red Raptors into the Gromp just for a maybe really early gank onto the bot lane, but I think they spotted him on the ward, so Wupong and Kobita should have that information ready. Let's see. Yeah, that ward is going to
Yeah, they
spot
do spot
extinction
him
as
now.
well. Yeah, so both teams have information of where the enemy junglers are. Sir Jackson is looking for an invade, and I
This
think
is
level 3 Sir Jackson might be stronger.
this is very aggressive from the Belvet. Both of his lanes don't really have
Oh,
lane priority right now.
oh,
And
but
we do see the top laners trading here, and this Diana might be in trouble.
oh,
Belvet
he missed
used
a
her stun
W.
too early. Diana will be able to walk away. I wonder if his team are going to be able
Yeah,
to collapse in time. This should not be allowed from the Belvet. Hopefully, they're able to punish her and not let her just do that for free. This Karma did take the
oh,
wrong path, so she has to like go the other way. And it does seem like the Belvet's invade will be able to work, and she will be
yeah,
able to get away with that red buff.
yeah,
Very sad for the Diana. She did get chunked. Was forced to use her flash and lost her red buff from that.
yeah. But basically, Bella third got away with murder. Now the flash comes on top of Barack, and after the root coming from the right, he goes down for the first blood. And Sir Jackson is getting a lot of things back after his like really aggressive play for the first few minutes. During that, I missed it, but River also goes down in the bot lane. Seeing that they used the exhaust and ignite, they might have looked a little too deep for an aggressive play. The scoreboard is 1-1. A small goal lead for the red side.
Yeah, the Lucian did dash into the wave of Caitlyn and Karma, and they were just able to instantly ignite him and take him down, you know?
Oh,
That's not what you want to do when you're in that lane, and
Kino.
this Rice will be in trouble. He doesn't have flash. Oh,
He's
wait, the
trying to
Belveth is
bait.
here.
Oh, one more auto kills there. Flash comes. Brock does have the flash.
Mm,
Oh no. That is really bad. Burning the flash. He just TP'd back. Akino Simp did bait him really hard, and Sir Jackson picks up his second. Akino picks up his
yeah.
second assist, and then even more minions dying in the mid lane. A rough start for the Commanders in this first game. Extinction
Oh,
cannot
he did
return
not
one
have the
back.
flash from that early invade. We do see that invade just coming to work, you know? Extinction not having the flash here means he
Yeah.
cannot go and finish that kill.
Oh,
And then, like you
Kobita
said, very sad for the victor.
trying to play aggressive. Sir Jackson came down bot. He might want to reset soon just to keep his tempo on the map. He can like reset, maybe look for a dragon when it spawns. He has 1700 gold. That's a lot of gold to be sitting on, especially when you have a shutdown. But yeah, with this lead in the early game for Sir Jackson, I'm just expecting him to be just keeping up the proactive ganks, just looking for these early objectives to make sure that once the enemy team is getting into the mid game, you already have the soul threat. Because if you let the Ornn, the Diana, the Victor farm, they will eventually catch up to you, and it will be rough because blue side is the one with the rage advantage. Some hard trading going on in the bot lane. River is getting chunked. The bubble will not land from trucks, but really aggressive both lanes in the bot lane.
Yeah, again, not what you want to be doing with illusion. You know, you don't want to just dash into the enemy wave. You kind of want the others to walk
Oh,
up and dash like next to your wave. We do see the Diana come here.
extinctions
This could
here.
be very dangerous for River and Nanami. They
Yeah.
both have no, they both have flash though to get
Yes, there's
away.
oh, the Rise ult is coming in. Oh, this might take a bad turn
And he brought his
for the
goons with him.
Commanders. Missed the stun. Sir Jackson goes into the E. He does not take damage in his E. And then out of nowhere, triple kill for Rivered. And all those mistakes that he made during the laning phase, dashing into the Karma and Caitlyn, out of nowhere, those just works off, I guess. And now he has a 300 gold shutdown on his head, 2k gold, and that Lucian will be scary from now on.
Yeah, back to what I was saying in the start before the game started. If you're Diana, you don't want to be pathing bot. You just want to be farming your way up top. I know it sounds bad playing around in Orange, but you're not playing around the Orange. You're playing around the Rift Herald and making sure you're able to like flip the sides. You want to farm this Belvet's top side jungle. You want to use that Victor Pryor he's been able to like consistently get since the start of the game, and just keep invading those Raptors, Red Buff, and Krags from the Belvet. You kind of want to just like split the jungles, and you're completely fine with that. I know Caitlyn will lose a bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, like Caitlyn will not be as useful as Lucian Nami as like that's how the lanes physically like work, you know? They
Yeah.
were trying to get the waves under and everything like that, and it seemed like it didn't work. And we do see the Belvet gang come here in the top lane. I don't think it will do much as the Ornn does
Oh,
have flash. Is he gonna
I'm
use
not
it? Is the
sure if
question.
the
Yeah, I
flash
think he
will
will
get
be
him
able to get out.
out. It will get him out. He's fine. But yeah, I think what you were saying, whole the reason why I think that's true is it's not the fact that you're trying to play towards Ornn, but you're trying to make sure that this Shen doesn't get as much use of. Oh, we see a dive attempt. Ornn is actually dishing
The
out a
Ornn
lot of
did turn it
damage.
around. Wow,
Yeah, and the
very
ult.
well played. He almost did one shot the Belvet, like you said. It's not a scaling tank. The guy's an assassin. The moment he hits level 6, you know.
Yeah, but Boulder should be careful. Bellas is still around, and a knockup might mean Boulder going down. The Belveth is a really hard champion to predict how much damage he can tank, especially with the E. Extinction caught under the dragon. Can he take? Oh,
Oh
the dragon
wow,
is stolen too. He tried to
that's oh
smite
my,
it early. Ornn goes down. Dragon goes down.
and
Wukong goes
Caitlyn
down.
too.
Ult comes through as well. And it is just disaster after disaster for Commanders in the first game. Every play is just being turned on its head and then just going even worse. Kobita should be careful. The taunt comes through. River picks up another one. This guy who just died in the lane is now 5-1. And he is going to back into a Gale Force, and it's a really big item advantage in this early game for Lucian Nami, and this Caitlyn Karma will have a hard time dealing with that from now on. And
Yeah,
I think another play where Extinction was trying to make a play in the bot side, but right now, Aquino has the whole prio in the mid lane. Like he is the one with the lead. It's like he just gets into the river with the water walking. He just checks the dragon. Unfortunate smite coming through extinction. He tried to smite it with the last bit of HP that he had, but the dragon goes over to the Bills as well. So that play was not what you expect. Instead of that, he could be doing Herald, and I think he would have been fine.
yeah, he is starting it right now, but that's very delayed. You want to get it as soon as possible, and like the commander's team comp, you want to scale with his team comp, you know,
Yeah.
or you want to at least make sure you get to the third dragon at a kind of an even point of the game, you know. You don't want to just give up this like 5,000 gold lead and keep letting the Bills like just create an advantage against you, you know, because the Bills, they are playing for that early game. You don't need to like match it. You don't need to contest it. Just let them have it. Like yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
be down two, three
Oh, the
waves.
bubble lands. Wupong
Oh
goes down
wow.
again.
Instantly
Kobita.
gets once out, and well, yeah, Kobita will be able to get out, but again, like don't walk up. Let the waves come into you. Yeah, your CS is even, but you died 3 times. It's better to be down 2, 3 waves, like a level down, you know, and get to a point where it doesn't matter if the other person has more gold than you. Your champion is more useful. You're playing a mid to late game team comp, and the other team is playing a mid to or early to mid
Oh,
game team comp.
Boulder.
And this Orin is in trouble. He doesn't have flash. He will get spotted out.
Wait,
Nice EP
induced.
juke. He does need to make sure that.
Oh
Ooh,
my, the E flash fails, but
oh, they
it will
both
still pick
flashed
it up.
after.
Strux is he just gets executed.
Wow,
Rivered
very lucky.
overextended, gives over a 900 gold shutdown. And I guess this is what we called when we called it a fiesta. All that lead that they built through for the last 4 or 5 minutes, it's not totally gone, but it is not something that you want to do.
Yeah, that's a
The
very
Caitlyn
huge
is just
blunder.
back into the game probably.
Yeah, she's still down around 1,000 gold, but that's a very big blunder to create if you're the Lucian, you know? You want to just make sure you keep the lead you had. Now Caitlyn will be able to reset, get her mythic item, and then get another crit cloak if she wants to, you know? Like, that's not
Yeah.
what you want to do. And this Diana, Ixie, I don't know if you've seen the Diana build. A lot of people have been spamming recently, where it's Demonic Embrace into Jaxos, where you're just
Yeah.
an unkillable tank, going in, taking 0 damage and one-shotting people. I
Yeah.
do see where he's like coming out with his build, you know, trying to like do more damage into the early game, but you're playing a scaling team comp. I
Yeah.
think it's better to just do like the common build that everyone has been spamming recently, and same thing with the Ornn. I don't.
What
He's trying to build him. I
what
don't know
is
if that's
he?
Road of Ages or what he's
I'm
trying to
pretty
do.
sure I'm pretty sure that that shouldn't be Rod of Ages. I feel like Rod of Ages would be. Oh, the flash comes through.
Oh,
It gets interrupted by the wave, and the tidal wave comes through. The gale force from
oh,
Wukong
the Xenalt.
almost kills. Induces forced to use the Shanult, and then now
Yeah, they need to be
is
careful of the Belveth. I
they're
don't know if they
both
see
going
her.
to reset, and Wupong needs to be careful. Good trap. Probably saves him from dying there. So Jackson's getting chunked now. He has a 300 gold shutdown. Needs to be careful. Barak is
Yeah,
moving
Victor's here.
from mid lane. This might just be a dead Belveth. Dashes out from the gravity field, but the shutdown goes over to Barak. And
This
these are
Ornn's a
shutdowns that you
maniac.
really don't want to give.
Yeah, and then while that was happening, Ornn did try to attempt to dive this Rise. Very maniacal stuff. This Victor might have dashed in too far, but he might have pulled a double lift, but no. I don't think they were able to capitalize on him just dashing in for no reason. They will be
Yeah.
using the Rift here in the mid lane, and there is Dragon up for them as well. I wonder what they're going to be doing here, because they could just
Um.
stay mid and go for another plate, or go for Dragon. It seems like they're going to ignore that extra mid plate and try to contest the Dragon, but they need to be very careful here. They are like missing a few ultimates like the Ornn, but it doesn't like really matter that the Bills don't have a few of their ultimates. They're all coming back up, and this is going to be a very big fight. This fight could bring the Commanders back into the game if they are able to pull it off.
Yeah. And to be honest, just fill me in if I'm missing something. But is Catalyst of Eons built into any mythic? I see the Aegis of Legion now. Maybe is it I don't even know if it builds into anything. But the Orn build is kind of interesting.
I think
Some of
that's the it's that magic resist item, I believe. Like I don't know if it's a mythic though.
I know Abyssal Mask is
He bought
built.
3 components actually. He also bought the Pamies.
Yeah.
This is you don't want to split your gold out that much. You want to just make sure you
Yeah.
rust an item and then maybe like try start splitting it. You know, this is the
I
last thing they want to do.
maybe even like starting Bammies into Jack shows or something is still fine, but like just going 3 ways for an item for 3 different items is definitely not what you're looking at. But again, I feel like the game plan is not really out of the way for the blue side. They've worked down a lot, but with the recent shutdowns being picked up, I feel like they're still in a decent spot. The Shen is actually bullying this one right now. The Mythic versus 3 half items, it is really showing up its effect. The Heart Steal, really one of those items that like I just think it's kind of ridiculous. It's just like there's a Mundo or like any tank that's building it, they get like 600 or something bonus HP if they can proc it actively. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, and another thing I'm looking at that this itemizations, I don't know if they like haven't kept up with it. This Karma isn't going Radiant Virtues. She
Oh
is
yeah.
looking to go like one of those more supported items. She's not going what like the meta is, and we just
Oh,
see the Rise Flash in
proc.
here trying to get the solo kill. He does have the flash. He doesn't use it, so he is able to walk away from that.
Yeah, and Rise does burn the flash, so he will be vulnerable for ganks in the future. What I'm looking at is this Diana right now. He is kind of out of the game. the Nashes is still not completed, and with Nashes, he's going to be super squishy for a while. Even if he's going Jackshow second, Jackshow is a really expensive item. So is he going to be able to get the amount of gold needed to finish that? I don't know. Rivered does use the calling. The ultimate comes through from
The Sentinel's coming
extinction.
in too.
Yeah,
It got
the Sir
cancelled, I think.
Jackson goes in. Orn comes in.
And
Doesn't use the Orn horn for now. The taunt comes through. Good juke on the taunt. Now the
nice Arnold.
horn comes in. Good
Huge.
ultimate. Trux's just goes down. And this is still in the middle of 4 people. Brock comes in. Good ultimate. Sir Jackson lives with barely any HP.
They
Oh
need to be
my
careful
god.
of the Rise here. The Rise might be able to clean up the fight. He
Yeah,
actually
right.
is very
Is on
healthy.
vision. Boulder
He might get caught
gets
out though.
knocked
He
up.
doesn't
No
have
flash.
flash.
He just burned his flash.
Oh
Sir
shoot, knock
Jackson
up at the
goes
Belveth.
in. Oh, good resets coming from the other side. And Bills just turned the fight almost around with that last play. Rivered, they're still low, but on the other side, Kobita and Wupong, they're also one tap. Sir Jackson, kind of scary to face check right now. Can they get the mid lane turret?
Yeah,
They're
they
getting
won't be
some
able to pick it
objective
up.
bounties back. Induced does get the taunt. Karma heals back up, uses the flash. Induced is still there, still half HP, still healthier than the enemy players. River is coming along. No Gale Force for now, but he does have the flash if he wants to burn it. Flash and dash coming from River,
Oof.
and he grabs Wukong. The kill actually goes over to Trucks, but the tidal wave is available. Tidal waves comes through. It will probably hit two. Hits the boulder. Boulder's running towards the wrong side. Bubble lands, a taunt lands, and that whole play just comes out as a huge win for the side of Bills. And the Herald comes through in the top side. There's no one to receive that Herald, and that is just going to be a tier 2, possibly a tier 3 hit coming in the top side. And the Goldie just jumps to 7k out of nowhere in one fight.
Yeah.
That actually looked good for Commanders.
Yeah, very smart by Sir Jackson as well to go grab that Brave Herald and go chase that top tower, while all that chasing was happening. Yeah, but like you said, it did look good for the Commanders for a bit, but they kind of overstayed it a little bit, and then like obviously they're welcome, tried going for the Rise, and they did get punished from it. Sir Jackson had that really beautiful flash into his E where he was able to like tank everything, knock everyone up, and be able to capitalize on everything. And we
Oh,
do see, the
yep.
calling comes in, and the Lucian just one shots a Caitlyn.
That's
They
that's
need
what
to be,
Lucian Nami does.
yeah, they need
That's
to make sure that they're staying together. Like the more they split up, the more they're gonna get picked off. The
yeah,
Bills are playing this team comp very nicely, and the Commanders they need to realize that maybe it isn't their time to like step up and start taking those fights. Maybe it's
yeah,
better to just chill, like get a bit of form, and try to scale back up.
yeah. And once since the two items are coming through, we see Lucian opting it for the Essence Reaver. I haven't been really seeing too much Essence Reaver on Lucian, but I'm pretty sure it's a good item. I know it was being built before. Um,
Yeah, I think he's doing Essence River into Navori Quick Blades, so he just perma
yeah,
like spams his E. It is a bit of a common build, but usually they do it with first strike, not with press the
yeah.
attack. So that is like the one of the
Oh,
differences I'm
Boulder
seeing
might be
here.
in a rough spot.
I think
River
he's
this year.
tanky enough.
He does have the Radiant Virtue finished, so he is much tankier from before. A really awkward position.
Oh,
Sir Jackson
not
goes
like
over the
this.
wall. Wupong in a rough spot gets killed. Sir Jackson gets the reset on the Belveth. Can they keep going? Wupong stays a bit too forward. Is he gonna go down? Rivered will finish that kill. Extinction still only on that Nash is really having a rough time. Induced kind of bullying Barak in the top lane. And things are looking rough right now for the Commander's side. 20-4 in kills, 3-0 on the Dragons. And I think 1-1 for Heralds, but I'm pretty sure the Bills got a way better usage of Herald than the blue side. And with how things are right now, we see Rise is almost at his 2 item power spike. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of gold in his pocket. Not really, but he is working towards that Seraph soon. Second item comes through for Shen as well. Belveth also completing the Iceborne Gauntlet and just being that tanky frontline. He has that. He has Merc Shreds. He has MR armor. He is looking scary right now.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like season 12 builds, like or season 11. I don't even know what season it was before. Belveth would prefer to go Jaxos, you know. I don't know if
Yeah,
these players have played in the preseason. Personally, I didn't, but at least I try to like look up on his website what the builds are and everything like that, and try to keep up with them, you know. I
yeah,
was like the Iceborne Golem, yeah, it's decent, but you'd rather have that Jaxos.
yeah.
Same thing with the Karma. You don't want to have that Cerelius. You'd rather have
Oh,
the Radiant version. We do see the Sen
he
coming in here.
Shen dashes forward, does miss the taunt, but he's really tanky. The
Ooh, they're getting
knockup
flanked
misses
here.
from the Ornn. So Jackson tries to move, gets stunned. Good Ornn coming in, only
Ooh,
lands on the Shen. Boulder's
this,
kind of stayed in the front line. Radiant Virtue is kind of helping them. Now they're jumping in. Rivered does the damage on Diana. Ekinosimp picks up the kill. Rise is got his second kill on the board. And Rivered is still trying to hit the turret. Still trying to apply that pressure. I feel like Baron is a really easy take for the Bills right now. The amount of vision control that they have, the amount of damage that they can provide to that. I feel like it was a really easy Baron take for now instead of going for an ARAM right now, especially with the gold lead that they have. But Commanders needs to be careful. They have played this game before, and this game is not the one that they like. Wupong still walking uphill slowly. They are on vision. Sir Jackson might look to be a bit too aggressive. Ikinosimp is also here. Trog's here. Doesn't really have the tidal wave for now.
yeah,
And
they're
I
gonna try to
think
stall
he
after the
still
illusion.
go.
He did pick up those quick blades we were talking about.
Yeah.
And another big thing that I'm seeing here is that like commanders, like they're like these fights are close, you know? You don't need to like commit to them and like let them kill you. Just take those fights where both teams have to back up at the end and just go back to farming. And we do see the calling here.
Oh.
Oh my god, it basically one shot two of the
Oh,
members.
the Flash Gale Force Extinction. Flash East doesn't use the ultimate.
Think he forgot to press it, and
Well,
it could have might have been a kill as
yeah.
Victor was there with his ultimate, and they're just gonna
We
start the
see the
Baron here.
Belveth. Yeah, we see Belveth working on the Baron. No flash from Extinction. He just burned it. The play before this, he is going to grab the Gromp, but the Baron will be picked up, especially with Belveth's passive on these Baron and Heralds. It's going to be a really hard siege to receive. With the quick blades being done, with the Seraphs being completed from the Rise, the siege will be hard to defend for the blue side. But if I don't know wrong, I think Seraph's builds from Blasting Wand, right? And
Um, I'm not exactly too sure. I haven't like I don't know the item like components, like ever
because
since like the new
I
things.
think he sold this needlessly large
Oh,
rod,
my game just closed. 1 second. Oh, there we go.
which is
All right, I'm
not
back.
really something that you want to see. Extinction trying to look for something, but I feel like his damage, his tankiness is not there right now. It is kind
Yeah,
of rough for him. He is trying to build towards that Jack shows, I'm hoping. I don't think it will be a second Radiant Virtue, but I it's going to be really late before the
yeah.
time he gets even online.
If I'm Mixie right now, I'm not gonna worry about like going in trying to assassinate people. What he needs to do this game, and this is his job, is to try to like peel and like ult illusion when he dashes in, and give like the victor a clear way for him to be able to one shot the illusion. You know, he
Yeah.
shouldn't be like looking for a flank, shouldn't be looking for anything like that. He's not strong enough, and at this point of the game, he's not gonna be
Oh,
strong enough for the rest of the game. And we do
oh
see that
my.
like
That is
this
just
keeps happening. The Karma either needs to stay next to the Caitlyn, or the Caitlyn needs to stop walking up like that. See, one for
no,
gold collectors or
the
whatever that
collector.
item second, yeah, gold, yeah, second, which is very stupid. You buy that item when you're ahead, not when you're behind.
Yeah.
If you're behind, go like a zeal
Well,
item and then
I I
into
I f-
Infinity Edge.
I feel like not only that he's behind, but also there's a Shen on the enemy team. There's a Belveth that's going tank on the enemy team. There's a Rise that has a lot of HP and going Zhonya's on the
Yeah,
enemy team. So I feel like the collective will not be really off a lot of value. That is some really rough. Also, Orin bought another half item, which like Catalyst,
even
Bammies,
the yeah,
or Warden's Mail. They don't go into any item together. So
Even if
just
Victor bought like a scene, I know Victor is an AD
yeah,
carry main Barrock, so I'll forgive that, but like why get all these
I feel like
components? Finish one
yeah.
item. That's why
The
you're
thing is,
losing.
I feel like 700 gold is the amount of gold you need to finish Shadow Flame
And no,
once you
it's
have
a
the
thousand fifty,
components.
thousand fifty. So
After
he's
the
basically
components?
yeah. After the two components is a thousand
Well,
fifty gold.
oh,
Like
Wupong goes down again. Reset comes through. Sir Jackson is going really deep, but it doesn't even matter. One more reset. He can pick another one if he's
what's his
going to.
attack speed?
Yeah,
Oh
let's.
my!
What is
It
his
was at
attack speed?
3.16 at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, and what
3.21.
what we're basically seeing is just a curb stomp coming in from the Bills.
Yeah.
You know, they were able to abuse
Oh.
that their early game team comp, and the Commanders just like went for way too many plays they
Yeah.
didn't need to. You
I,
know, and
I
with
I feel
it,
like they just played into the Bills' hand where they just went for those deep overextended plays. They did like they got their leads, but then they tried to push forward with it in a team comp where they actually scale. And we see it here. They don't even have the damage even while
oh
fighting
this
in
guy,
base. They're just losing it hard. They're stacking up against a rise
yeah,
and the game
Chemtexel, he's so OP.
yeah.
Holy,
And the game will
very
finally
disappointing
be
to
over.
see. You know, it's
I expected a little bit more for this game, at least for the first game. But again, these are teams that haven't played a lot with each other. On the other side, Bills do have a bit more chemistry with each other. I think the biggest problem here was that they just didn't have a set idea of how they're going to win the game. We talked here about they should scale, but I think they wanted to push more on the lead that Caitlyn Karma had really early on into the game, where like they killed the Lucian. But you gotta be careful, especially against the Lucian Nami. That is a really volatile lane. Like you just don't know what can happen. They can just do a lot out of nowhere. If you see the damage charts, 25,000 from the Lucian. There isn't really a lot of damage coming from other than Lucian, but we also see the amount of damage tanked. It's like the Belveth tanked 25,000 while dying only once, and that is really impressive. That champion is just really hard to play against once he actually gets a hold of a few kills and resets, especially a few heralds plus. So with that, game one is over. We will be heading into game two, but we will give a short break before that. See you guys then, before the draft. Okay, welcome back. After a really convincing win in game one from the Bills side, we are here with the game two draft. We see the bands going over really fast. I think these are almost the same bands. Yes, the Alistar, the Rakan, the Maokai is again off the table with the Hecarim. And I guess there is no picks that commanders think was ban worthy from last game. We will see it after their third ban. Yeah, they are sticking to the same bands as before. We will see how Bills will draft this game because they might just go don't fix it, if it ain't broken.
I think they're trying to what the commanders are doing is like they felt like maybe the draft they went
Oh,
into last game with was like the wrong idea as they tried scaling and maybe they wanted to play for early game instead. So I think this game they're probably gonna try to like change that up, go for
yeah,
the early game plays instead of like
yeah,
playing a late game team comp and try to match like the same play style they just faced.
yeah, exactly. And already we're going to see some different team comps because this time it is the Bills who pick up the Caitlyn and the Rek'Sai comes through. A much different champion than Diana. A totally early game gank focused, just stomping the early game. Really good ganker coming for Ixie, especially after a rough performance on the Diana. He wasn't really able to get the things done that he wanted to. This time, he is going to have at least a stronger champion in the early game. And the Zeri answer comes through. I'm not sure how good that one is, especially against the Caitlyn.
Yeah, the Zera is a very interesting pick, as usually with Zera, you want to make sure you get either Yumi or Lulu, right? So I wonder if the Bills will recognize that and pick one of them up, because if they do pick the Karma and the Zera gets Lulu, oh,
Oh,
Seiko, okay, this is full on disrespect from Sir Jackson.
no.
He feels comfortable,
I
going
I
into this.
hate Shaco. I hate
He
seeing Shaco on my team. I hate playing Shaco and I hate playing against Shaco. AD or AP, I hate that champion.
I feel like he counterpicked himself too, because Rek'Sai, like I'm not sure what the idea is behind
Oh.
that, and the lax as well. We're gonna be able to see. Yeah, this is very
Uh,
different to say the least.
yeah. It is very different. I can understand the Caitlyn Lux. I feel like the
Not
Soraka?
Soraka. Just pick Yumi. The moment you get, if they pick Yumi, the moment they hit level 6, they're able to run that lane down.
Yeah. And like I think yeah, the Soraka comes through. The issue that I see with Soraka here is that at least with Yumi, you're not really worried about dodging Lux Q. You're inside Zeri that has a dash. With
Mm.
Soraka, if you get hit by the Lux Q, you're gonna get trapped. You're not tanky, especially until level 6. There's no extra healing for yourself, and you're going to be in a rough spot.
Yeah, and the thing with that is,
I don't know.
like I would like say that like the Soraka usually takes barrier or something like that. But I feel like they might want to get the cleanse against Lax Caitlyn, as if you get hit by one Lux Q, you're gonna get one shot, right?
Yeah.
And like this makes like this lane very awkward. Like I feel like the smart thing to do, I know it sounds very weird, is for both Zeri and Soraka to take cleanse and just play for a more passive like early game and wait till like level 6
Yeah.
where they're able to get that Soraka ult and like all those
Yeah.
shields and stuff. Because
I
if they both don't take cleanse, like it's gonna be very like hard for them. And the cleanse also like helps
yeah.
you with the early game,
Maybe,
as if Seiko ganks and he has ignite.
maybe their plan is like just to be in a rough laning spot so that Rek'Sai is in position to gank most of the time. Oh, the
Renekton just
Croc
fine.
comes as well.
I want to see a Malphite here. I know it sounds like
Uh,
boring
It,
and everything, but Malphite is so OP
oh,
this
he
game.
did play Shen. I just feel like if you play Shen, Malphite is not that. I just think Malphite is even more fun. At least like when you ult, there is some action. Silence?
I'm
I would
I'm
assume
not sure
that to
about
be
that.
mid.
If because
Like,
if the commanders answer with the Rise just like straight up takes a dump on the Silas. That lane is like super hard for you. That's
yeah.
like
And
Rise, it's unplayable.
yeah, and there isn't even like really
Rumble.
good ultimates to pick up. Like I can understand Silas if you see like a Hecarim, maybe a Swain, or like Sona, some really good ultimate that you can make use of. the only things that he has right now is like Soraka, Renekton, Rek'Sai. Like Zerialt is pretty strong from Sylas. I can agree with that. But other than that, I don't see the Sylas really having a huge impact. The Ari pick into the Sylas. I I I know that there are some mid laners that would say Sylas is a good pick into Ari. So I don't think that is the worst case scenario for the Bills. But they do have a really interesting team comp, even more interesting than the last one. Because the Rumble in the top lane, Silas in mid, Shaco in the jungle, like it is not the same topside trio that was able to run through the early and mid game, even in game one. I'm
My
kind of having mixed feelings for
I
this.
don't know. I like the commander draft, because they were playing for the early game, and this does give them a
Yeah,
more early game focus, like team comp with
yeah,
the Renekton and the Ahri. You get a lot of gank setup, especially if you play for the top side, and
yeah.
this is going to be very interesting because if either Rumble or the Silas get behind from this Rex size ganks, it can be very punishing for either like players.
Yeah, and like the CC layering, if they can do it well, it is a really like long way that Bills needs to walk through because the RE charm, the Renekton W on top of Drake side knockup, and then the Soraka silence comes under. It is a really hard thing to play against. And another thing, especially after the laning phase, if this area is not too far behind, I feel like Bills doesn't really have a way of dealing with this area. They don't really have anyone that can get on top of her. Even if Shaco comes there, there's a Soraka that can keep her alive.
Yeah, and it's
I
actually a Rumble top into Renekton. This is very interesting. I thought it was mid.
yeah.
Because usually, like, people, like, I've seen people pick Salas into Renekton mid sometimes. Because, like, when you actually take the Renekton ult and you, like, use it, if you are fighting on top of the Renekton, like, since, like, Renekton's ult does AP damage, like, around, like,
Yeah.
it's like a Sunfire cape, right?
Yeah.
You can, like, burn the Renekton and, like, unexpectedly turn the fight. So, like, I know people also like that matchup with Salas personally, because, like, they feel like it's very winnable and you outscale. But like not the Rumble. I feel like the Bills are just coming in with a comfortable mindset. Like that I'm better mindset. So they're just
Yeah.
picking like for fun stuff like Seiko, Rumble, Silas, and we're gonna for sure see Nady Seiko. I believe this game, as
Yeah.
there's way too much AP on the top side. If he goes AP, I know AP Seiko is more fun because you can just like joke
The
around
box
like
plays,
boxes,
yeah.
yeah. And AD is a little bit more sweaty, so it's gonna be interesting to see this.
Bro.
And because he's definitely gonna be camping Desiri and Soraka, as those are the two freest
Yeah.
targets.
And I will still say this. Although Bill's team comp I feel like is really hard to execute, especially compared to what commanders have. But these are some champions that can really pop off once like if they get ahead. Like even the Lux support, it is just a pain to play against it if she gets some items. And Silas, I think we've all had that like maybe one game where the enemy Silas just is fed, but his old teammates are bad. But like that Silas is just fed and he just makes it happen. So I personally am not losing all hope for Bills, especially after how last game went. Um, but yeah, I feel like Commanders have a better draft. At least it is easier for them to play from the
Yeah,
last time.
you strong early and you scale very good, like throughout the map. And I don't know, like you said last game, like the commanders, it's not like they were getting like curb stomped. A lot of the fights were close at some point, which meant that they could have had like a chance to like turn the game around. But there was just a few like mechanical mistakes here and there that caused them to just get curb stomped. It, like let the Bills get that Dragon Soul and just take control of the entire game like throughout. But this game, like, it's gonna be very interesting to see this. Like, I don't know, I'm just very excited for the sake of Rek'Sai matchup, and we can even like check out the runes in a few seconds. Let's see. We can go from top to bot whenever we'll get the chance.
Oh, um, I guess
All
before
right.
that, really fast, they did take the cleanse. Oh yeah, here are the roots.
All right, so Rumble will be looking for that like early lane, like poke and everything like that. He did take bone plating. He wants to make sure that he's respecting the Renekton. Same thing with the Renekton. He did take press the attack. He wants to make sure that he does like as much as possible in the early game. You know, like try to like duel the Rumble, try to kill him, or try to have that 1v2 potential with those runes. And then we can move over to the jungle. Yep, it is an AD Seiko like we mentioned, and XC again. Like I'm surprised like he's playing these junglers that you would rather have like magical footwear and the CDR. I was with some of those junglers, you're either power farming or you're perma ganking, right? And
Yeah.
usually when you do that, like if you're power farming, you're not gonna be ganking, and getting those
I
free boots is very useful. Same thing with perma ganking junglers. The more people you kill, the faster you get them.
yeah.
So it's
I
not like it's a bad thing.
at least I feel like for Rek'Sai it's more justified to have the treasure hunter instead of like the Diana. I feel like Diana you need the flash more. Also, like for the from the cosmic what was it? Cosmic Insight. Rek'Sai also uses flash, but the extra gold, especially for a champion that wants to get it rolling in the early game, I feel like it matters a bit more.
Yeah,
But yeah.
usually if you like Treasure Hunter, you can just go Hail of Blades instead, though. You know, like and
Oh yeah,
then go Magical
definitely.
Footwear. That's more of like an early game thing, but he's gonna be going for the later part. And then for Silas, he did opt to go for Second Wind instead of potions and like or instead of cookies and corrupting potion. He is gonna be looking for like more of like a team fight style rune page, while the RA is going to be looking for that poke lane again, you know, with that Scorch and Electria. So he's going to be looking to like see if he can deal with the Silas in the early game and try to like set up those ganks for the Rek'Sai where they're just going to be able to one shot him as soon as possible. And then moving on to the bot lane, same thing for the Caitlyn. She same runes as last game, but instead of
Hmm,
lethal tempo, she did take flayed footwork. She will
conditioning?
try to sustain, and then yeah, Zeri, I can see like if you go conditioning and you have Soraka, I don't know why she took that.
Just go the revitalize rune, right?
Yeah, take revitalize instead of overgrowth. You know,
Hmm.
overgrowth. Like I kind of see why she would think that, but
I
it
feel
makes.
like
Or she
I
took
feel like
attack speed on
celerity
Zeri.
is really good. I feel like
Even
so like I think it was celerity which gives like movement speed even when it's stacked up. I think that would be a good addition to this game because you're more than likely not going to be like I think the idea is you just have more movement speed than the enemy team. So the more you have is going to be helpful. Also like with transcendence a bit like more cooldown reduction, I think it would have helped. Conditioning, I just don't know. Does like she doesn't really build resistances. I think conditioning gives you 12-12 for each. If I'm not wrong, which is like fine,
no,
but I don't
it's
know
eight
how
and eight
much.
percent.
Oh yeah, okay. So like I don't know how much value he will actually get. But yeah.
Like as he moves
Oh,
on, and actually, yeah, I guess I like
first
that it
strike?
is a Zeri thing, but usually you go lethal tempo, and she
Yeah.
does have the Soraka, so I'm surprised she opted for that fleet footwork, you know.
First
And
strike on
then
Lux though.
yeah, I've seen a lot of Luxes just go full AP, and basically what they want to do is like hit that Q ult and make sure that they one shot them as soon as possible. And we'll be right with you guys in a quick second. We'll just go on a quick 10-15 second break. We'll be right with you. Everybody to game two. This is gonna be a feisty game, you know. Everyone's excited for the Seiko. Everyone's excited for this Rek'Sai. Everyone's gonna be excited to see what will take place in this game, and we already see the Bills coming in with an invade with a Silas, and it will be spotted out. And this Silas might be going in too far by himself. He will be able to pass over the wall actually, so he should be fine. And
Yeah.
this, go right ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, they might even look for a really early maybe fight because the Silas E, he does get a really good trade-off, especially with a Rek'Sai that doesn't have that knock-up level one. He usually starts the queue, so it would be rough. They get the ward again, so they
Yeah,
will at least
they
know where
spotted
he
it with the
starts from.
ping.
Yeah.
They actually spotted it with the ping there, Because since Rex had cleared the previous ward, they did get 3 seconds of extra vision in that bush since it was cleared,
Yeah.
and they were able to see that a second ward was like placed down. So yeah,
Well,
that's like a quick like 15 gold
mhm,
lead for the commanders. You know that could
yeah.
be something.
This is, I think, the one of the short amounts of time that they have
You a
had a
fan of
lead
Friends and Family now?
this series. I think for the first 3 minutes of last game, they also had a lead. But at least the Rumble will know that the Rek'Sai is not starting from his squadron, so he can be safe for something like a minute, 40 seconds. He's going to be safe. What I'm assuming is that Rek'Sai might just look for an early mid. Brock did start the W though, I think, if I didn't see wrong. So he's not gonna have the QE combo until level 3. I think the most important oh no. Okay, Ixie's Grump almost reset. I was just trying to pay attention to that. And yeah, that's basically it. I feel like the laning phases will be a bit
Everyone,
more
I didn't see
safer
that.
from both sides until either a Shaco or a Rek'Sai
I'm not a
gank.
fan of what this Renekton is doing. If you're
So
playing Renekton, usually you want to start hitting the first wave as soon as possible. You want to
yeah.
start like stacking up that ferocity. And where do you see like the poke coming into the bot lane? Oh, I wish the Rek'Sai would have like immediately turned from the wolves into the
Yeah.
bot side. And the Seiko's actually invading his red. I wonder if they're going to be able to like spot that out. I think Ixie does spot it out with his W, and wait,
There are
did
no
he see it?
pings
I don't think
coming
he's looking at
through.
it. Yeah, he's looking at the top lane, so he didn't spot the Seiko.
Okay. But
Wait,
did
but the
Shaco
Rek'Sai
spot
won
him?
on spot, and this Rumble could be in a lot of trouble
But oh,
here.
the level 3 comes through from Boulder. The
Oh
Ignite comes
no.
through. The flashes follows. Flash comes from Extinction for the knockup. Boulder almost goes down to the Rumble's damage, but he lives with barely any HP. Extinction, did he spot him now? I'm not sure if he's paying attention to the
Yeah, he has
Shaco.
smite the Grump. Oh, or smite
Oh,
the
he
Crag. He could have
does.
smited the Crag for a bit
I
of
don't think
health, but he
I'm not
forgot
sure
to.
he would have saved them, but I'm interested that like he didn't realize it both times. I feel like I'm pretty sure even it makes like a sound effect when there's someone near you, as Rek'Sai. So yeah, just unfortunate death coming from Extinction. He did
Yeah,
start the game with a kill, his first kill contribution of the series, so
yeah.
already
And
better than last game.
he did lose his entire top side though, which is very painful. You
Yeah.
know, like
Oh,
that's
so
why.
Jackson is sitting.
Oh, he
Will
will
that
spot it out
podge?
actually.
Yeah.
He left the red buff up for some reason, which like just take it, you know? You could have just triple quadrant him and gotten so
Extinction?
ahead with the Seiko. And I really
Extinction
wanted
is
to see
gonna
the
leave
Seiko
it?
like actually start like taking over this game. Very like
Yeah.
smart invade from him, and so far like Sir Jackson is
Ixie is also
like
scared a bit.
y-
So Jackson's gonna actually back off.
yeah, and this poke from Barra coming in very nice. Oh, Akenosim did miss that E, very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But
And go ahead, go ahead.
I must say, like, I just thought the bot lane would be way worse. Like, Wukong and Kobita is actually holding on pretty well right now. Actually, ahead in CS for now, if they can get to crush this wave and make River lose that, a CS lead, the no summoners burned. The River actually opted in for the Ghost. So, we will see that being effective in a 2v2 possibility, but no heal, no exhaust, no cleanse from the Caitlyn will mean it will be a rough time if they get caught by this Ari or even Renekton later into the game.
Yeah, and like another very interesting thing I'm like looking at here is that this like this Iraq is actually with a relic sealed, you know? I think that's
Yeah,
what's like helping them a lot. That extra health, that extra like healing for both of you, her being able to proc the first strike from the Lux before the Lux is able to proc it herself, like has really helped them in this
yeah,
game, you know? And this Rek'Sai is going back to top. I'd rather see him. Hopefully, he turns around from the Wolves and looks for this bot gank right here.
yeah,
This is a very good opportunity. I wonder if he's going to be able to spot it on time.
yeah. The wave is in a decent spot. There is a ward in the river, but with his E, maybe
He's
he can
moving
just
mid, I
like
believe. Actually, this
yeah.
Silas could be
The
in
Keenest
trouble.
is a little overextended. Worst case, he can
Take
steal
the Ariel.
Ariel.
Yeah,
But then it is kind of Boulder's fighting level 5 to 6. Induce
Wait,
might want to be
Rek'Sai went, but
careful. Wait, does he not have cooldowns? Oh yeah, he uses E. I was gonna say that looked like a decent trade, but Sir Jackson is here.
he's level 6. I think he can win this if he plays this correctly. He's just gonna opt to like run away.
Yeah.
Would, if that was me, I would have went for it. You instantly ult, you instantly gain 50 ferocity, you empower W the Rumble, which takes away his shield since it
Yeah.
breaks shields. You ignite him and he's dead. And then yeah, the Seiko
Even
does
if
have
Shaco
ignite.
comes in, I think like that
He, d-
Shaco right now is just not strong enough.
I think he would have been able to one shot him and still have his second E to be able to just E away.
Yeah.
That's just like, yeah, he took the safe option, but I would have been hyped up to see him go for that. I think it was a
Yeah.
very doable like thing. Just maybe like a little
Hmm.
bit of like unexperienced or just being uncomfortable after
So
what happened the first game.
he starts with the Caulfield. What item is the kid does that turn
Probably
into?
Gore Drinker. It's either
Oh,
that or he's gonna look for Hydra
I
as
was
well.
thinking
That's a
maybe.
very common option as well.
I just normally thought like Stridebreaker would be good because I feel like with Rumble you're going to kind of run into the issues of like him just trying to press W and run away from you. So I feel like with the Stride, especially against the Ghost Caitlyn, it might have been
I
really
think
helpful.
what a lot of people are doing
Oh,
nowadays is that,
induced.
oh yeah, this
Uh-oh,
Rumble is so
good
super
knock
dead.
up. Yep.
Yeah, what a lot of people are doing with their Necton is that they go Ravenous Hydra into Jaxus actually. As they get a lot of
Oh.
healing, a lot of damage, and then they have Jaxus to
Oh,
like be tanky.
wait.
I s- but instead of
Why is he
Ignite,
using cleanse?
Ghost. Oh, I'm not sure, but what's it called?
Ugh,
I would have rather seen the Renekton go Ghost at least with that build. Because if he had Ghost and with the Jaxos, you don't need the Stride Breaker, and then you have Ravenous Hydra, Jaxos, and
yeah.
Ghost, so you're able to still run them down, and you're still able to be tanky and do a lot of damage. And the Silas might be in trouble. He's running out of mana.
Oh,
This Seiko might need to like assist him to get this reset off.
oh, they're just
But no,
grabbing the
he's actually gonna
dragon.
get the dragon. He's not even level 6. This is very just a common pickup though, since you do have Kate Lax, you will have that priority and be able to pick it up for free.
Yeah.
And we will see them moving towards the mid lane here and try to like assist the Silas with the Ari, I believe. Maybe not. Yeah, the Lax is going back, but the Seiko could still look for it. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like he will want to though. And this Rek'Sai is in the bot side. There is a word in the river, but I think it's gonna expire before Rek'Sai walks by it. So he might have like a
Oh,
gank opportunity here.
maybe.
Yep, it does expire.
Okay,
It
it did
doesn't spot
expire.
him, but he's gonna go for the
Excuse me.
Grump.
Yeah, he is going for the Gromp. And for now, I also see the ghost thing because like if you can actually get a kill reset, which is really high possibility with the Rek'Sai, you will just like get a reset on the ghost and just keep the fight going. It is really something good with the
No, not
oh
just with the
Boulder
right
is
side, but with
taking
the
the fight, but
Renekton.
no ultimate for him right now.
They're
Wupong
going
jumps
into the
over the
bot lane.
wall. Extinction is also coming in. Ult does get procced from the
River
Wukong.
is
Trux
ghosting
tried
out.
his ult. Flash comes from Ixie. River, is he gonna be out? Trux kills the Soraka.
Oh, what a
Ixie
trap!
does kill at
Wow.
AFK
Ooh,
Boulder.
River put a
Oh,
beautiful trap right before he died,
oh,
which
he
meant Rek'Sai took
turns.
a bunch of extra tower shots. And Boulder
Yeah.
does pick up the 1v1 in the top lane with a Ignite
Oh,
advantage.
Wupong.
This Zeri might be in trouble. Actually, no, I think the Seiko's in trouble. Soraka
Sir
ult comes in.
Jackson. Oh,
That's
shut
actually,
down.
I don't think that's a good, like, yeah, he does get the shut down, but the last thing you want to do is give Zeri more kills. This is Zeri. This is a 2.2k gold. She will have a
Yeah.
very good buy, and she will be able to surf this wave. And I think this was a bit a greedy stain for the wave. Yeah, the
Yeah.
other team will be able to freeze it, but just reset and keep the momentum up. This kind of ruins your momentum for a bit. But yes, he will be able to reset with 2.5k gold, get a bunch of components in, and be happy about it. Same thing with the right side. He will be able to pick up a full prowess glow and be at
Oh,
a very
Charm
good spot.
lands. Akinosum gets chunked. He's playing aggressive.
I would have liked
Dashed
to see
in. But
Baroque instantly ignite there. Don't let Silas get that
yeah.
W heal and force him to ult. Because if Silas doesn't have ult, then you give Rek'Sai the window to like come
Yeah.
gank you.
And now
Oh,
Trux is
Baroque
in
needs to
the
be
river.
careful. He will
Rock.
be
Now
forced to
he
use the
will
ult.
be first. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, like I
dodges the
said,
ult.
you don't want to be the one without ult and Silas with ult, because now Silas can run you down at any point in the lane.
Yeah.
Like, it just, a lot of people don't want to use Ignite when the other person's full HP, but
Oh,
making sure you deny the healing. And we see this
Akinosum.
Lux really stepping up. The Rek'Sai will be
Okay.
here. I think he spotted the Seiko. Yeah, he
Okay,
did.
yeah. The
This is gonna
pings
be a
are
2v2
coming
coming
through.
in. He has the prowess claw. He
Aquino.
has the prowess claw too.
Oh, he missed the dash.
He stole
Aquino
the Rek'Sai
does
ult
go
instead of
down.
the Ahri.
Yeah, interesting choice there.
Yeah, so it means he won't be able to get away, and it's just like 1 for 0 in the mid lane.
Oh,
Rumble is moving. This Ahri needs to
pings
be
are coming
careful.
here.
No ult. So he does have the
Brock
flash
does
though.
have flash.
I think he's dead.
Sir
Oh no,
Jackson.
he used the flash.
Oh,
He might be able to get
charm?
out. Oh, no
Movement
way.
speed? Ugh.
Barak used flash too early. You want to see the Rumble ult come out, then use your flash,
Oh,
And
oh
the
my
first strike
god.
poke coming in from the lax, like
That's
a support doing
disgusting.
half your HP, that's not fair. Soraka
Yeah,
will have ult in a second or two. Yes, it does have it up. So Zeri cannot really be dove here. And I
yeah.
kind of want to see this Zeri and Soraka try to 2v2. I think they're in a very strong spot now with the Lex having no sums.
Oh,
And this
Boulder.
Boulder needs to start fighting those things. I don't know
Yeah.
why he keeps getting scared. He's actually going for Gore Drinker, which is very surprising. I think he's hit a Gore Drinker or Cleaver. I'm not sure why.
Sir
Like,
Jackson has to
if he's
get
going
out.
Gore Drinker, he should have started
Oh,
the Iron Strike or Iron Wisp, whatever it's called.
yeah. Iron
And
Spike Wisp.
yeah, and there's a lot of things happening throughout the map. Fights, both fights in the
Oh,
top jungle, and now a Rift
but
Herald was just started.
yeah,
It does seem
and
like they're going to be giving it up as the word will be able to spot the Rumble, or actually they're going to see that they're trying to fight it.
Brock
Ari's moving.
crashes the mid wave.
So the red team
There,
does have the Serac ult advantage. I hope the blue team is able to realize that, yeah, they do realize it, and will
yeah.
just give it up. And we
Also,
do have the. Go ahead.
so Sir Jackson also used his ult, so I feel like that would be just a free kill given over if they decided to try it. And just like knowing that the other team, especially the Soraka, basically just gives her own HP so that this Zeri can stay alive for a bit more, the turret will probably go down, which is
Yeah,
bad news for a team that just picked up Herald.
I wonder if they're gonna try to fight the dragon as the Caitlyn and Lux both have to reset. And I think the Rek'Sai does have a quick timer here where he can grab it. It does seem like he wants to go for it. Maybe, yeah, he will start it. I believe. I think they're spotting that their bot lane reset, and it might be a funny timing where the Seiko actually will spot it and might even be able to steal it. I
Yeah.
hopefully he doesn't queue in the pit. I feel like if he queues in the pit, that might be his
He
death.
doesn't have ult too,
He
so
does have the box spotted out. Yeah, it seems like he's just gonna give it up. A little
yeah.
bit disappointing that the Rek'Sai didn't just play his Rift Herald before he did
Oh,
that to go for the plates,
Hero
and
of
then
Shojin?
it's not like the old Spear of Sergeant, so I'm surprised he
Yeah.
started this.
It's
It's kind of like a stride breaker because you get that movement speed to run at them, but like very interesting to say the least. Oh, this Rek'Sai is dead. He stepped on the trap
oh
again. No Serac ult or heal wasted. He will just be taken down. That's
yeah.
mental mistakes. I feel like is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Ixie's trying to force a lot of stuff for his team. He's
Mm,
trying to like create plays for them,
oh
and he's getting punished for it. As his team is like more of a passive form. And
yeah.
we will see the Rumble waste teleport here. Actually, they might be looking for a
Also
gank with the
interesting
Seiko
that
here.
like Kraken Slayer comes through for Wukong. Oh, the dash into the charm comes through. River doesn't isn't a really rough spot. He does go down to the tick of ignite from Brock. This will also mean the mid lane turret going down. Good play coming from the commander's side. This game, they're able to execute on way more plays. Aquino did pick up the Ariel. He's just trying to make sure that he can live this. The blast cone is popped. Oh, he
They do spot
misses
him.
the dash. He's still trying to play that. He has only one dash left. Wupong also needs to be careful. They're getting collapsed on. Brock is left alone. The Soraka is here. The ultimate, the heal. The heal comes in late. Brock goes then. Extinction is still in the play. Aquino needs to be careful. Extinction dodges
Oh,
the thing. He needs to
oh
use his ult.
no.
Oh,
I think he's
his
out.
his
Yeah, he's
E
out.
did not get interrupted by the box, so he was able to get out. He did fail the flash. It looked scary for a second, but they will live to see another day. And just, I think it was two, maybe one more kill given over to Bills again. And I think we're just seeing the kind of the same mistakes, just overstaying the plays, just not realizing where the enemy team is grouping back at, and just like after a really good play, they just choke at an overstay and just give over another kill,
Yeah,
which might bite them back afterwards.
the commanders, all they have to do is chill. The moment the Seiko started playing topside is when he started throwing the game. He tried playing for the Rumble way too much, which meant that the Zeri was able to like free scale. So he's into a mid game like power spike right now, which
Yeah,
is not what you want to say if you're the Bills. But with all this bad mistakes happening, it just means that like everything like that they're doing like doesn't matter. All these mistakes the commanders are doing doesn't matter because the Seiko invested all his early game into the top side. And this
yeah,
Rumble could be a free kill. I'm not sure why they're not forcing it. Like the Rexa has prowess, claw, and flash. Like they don't need to be scared. Just like commit for it. Force it up. You
yeah.
don't. It doesn't need to be like
Because
freeing your screen. You can make it free.
yeah.
And
Oh, the ultimate comes to clear the
yeah,
wave.
I think maybe he was expecting the gang, as he does have no vision or like no one around him until now.
Yeah.
Just because the Seiko showed up, but they might be able to spot it out. I think they will see that the Rumble like resets. Nope, it will
Oh.
be stopped. I wonder,
Oh.
Rexheim, does he spot the Seiko? No, he does not. When the Seiko's actually walking
Induce
away,
is
nope, they
still
see him now.
low. If he face checks, does Extinction have enough damage to one shot
No, he
him?
used his E before he was fully stacked.
Oh, he plays the
No,
gamble, jumps straight into the box.
I think he used his E before he was like before he did true damage. He
Yeah.
should have prowess clawed, gotten an extra auto, eat the ult. That could have maybe gotten him the kill, but it's just like the fact that he has Conquer, it makes him a little bit weaker. And I hope he makes sure that he gets an Edge of Night or something very soon, as like Rek'Sai like has a very like low based health, which means that he's very squishy in the early game until he gets a second
Yeah.
item. And what's happening
Mm,
right now is the last thing you want to know happen if you're the commanders. What happened in the early game is exactly what you wanted to happen, but what's been transforming into the mid game is the last thing that they wanted to happen. And even this Caitlyn, she's actually going for the collector, which is like this
again.
game. She's not ahead like a lot, right? But this
Yeah.
game makes more sense. Like they're not
The
as
enemy team
tanky,
is really
except they're
squishy.
yeah. And I wonder if the Soraka goes no, she's gonna go Sorelius. I wish more supports build Radiant Virtues. It's just like you're so tanky, and when you heal so many people, or when you ult,
Um,
you heal so many people. This Ari
I,
might be in trouble here.
I think the oh, we will see the play. The chains land. The
He's
Caitlyn ult
dead.
comes through. The
Soraka didn't
Soraka ult
ult.
and heal were both available, and they just didn't use it. Wupong might kill Ekinosimp here. He's still
With
struggling with it.
the
Topside
top
AFK
1v1
Boulder
as well.
will kill
Seiko in trouble?
Induced.
No, he's at the tower. He's going to be able to
Yeah.
survive. And I think Commanders will just be able to get the dragon here. Like a
Yeah.
lot was used on this
Extinction needs to be
Ari.
careful still. Sir
Okay.
Jackson. Oh, that was the fake one. I got faked by that, but yeah, the dragon will be picked up. Good poke damage coming from trucks.
Commanders
Another
should
good
take it slow.
W.
They have the Renekton on the top side. They don't
Oh,
need to force
Kobita.
it.
He also needs to be careful. The Caitlyn still has the ultimate because I think Brock died too fast before the bullet came out of the Caitlyn. The ultimate did get a reset. Extinction. They can jump. Oh, Wupong
Oh,
jumps first.
Rek'Sai. Help
Interesting.
Rek'Sai. They're focusing
Trucks.
different targets. They're not playing with each other.
Oh,
Oh my, and the Rumble TP. Does he have ult? He has ult now.
he just got his ult back.
Oh, decent
Wupong
ult.
will go
Does get the
down.
pick up.
Shot down.
Oh, I think he's dead too.
Extinction gets
Is
one
Six
shot
Jackson
again.
maxing E? That E did so much. Yeah, he did.
That he is maxing E. It's just interesting that we just don't really see that with AD Shaco's. But
Usually, no.
Shaco is
Usually
not
they
in the
put
pit right
like
now.
they
Barak
put
does land the charm. Rivered will go down. No ultimate for Induce, so he's in a rough spot as well. Barak dashes one more time. He has two more dashes. Can he spot the Shaco? Shaco used the Q. Barak playing the
I think
mind
he
games.
realizes which one's the real one.
Yeah,
He's not. He's
the
ulted
ultimate
ran
ran
out
out.
just last second. And
Trux is
a lot
still
of the
staying.
both his teams, where they're messing up in the preseason or this new season, they buffed the dragons up. They made them more healthy and more tanky. So it takes way longer for you
Trux.
to take down a dragon. And both his
Mhm.
like
Yo,
teams keep making that mistake. Like the
Jungler's not here.
commanders, Lux
Can he
could try to
steal?
steal.
Ult!
No, it,
Oh,
it
reveal
reset just
back.
in time.
Unfortunate. Oh,
Oh,
oh no.
nice
Okay.
try, nice try. But yeah,
And
both teams, like the commanders before the Rek'Sai died and everything, or like before they made the dragon reset, you don't have to hit it. Let Renekton do a bit of top tower damage. Same thing with like Bills here. They could have just let the Silas work his way up top and then began the dragon. Like you don't have to instantly begin it. It's not like the old patch where you instantly take dragon down within
yeah.
10, 15 seconds. It's like taking a riff Herald. It's way too healthy and way too tanky, so it'll just be way too long for you to take.
Yeah, and to be honest, with how this game is going, I I really like how the commanders kind of changed their way of approaching the game. Instead of having a lot of scaling on their team comp, this time they went
Mm,
for like three early to mid game focused champions. And if things go south, they still have that Zeri Soraka bot lane for the
Yeah.
late game where like the Soraka will keep the team healthy, and all the top side needs to really provide for the team comp is the CC. Barak with the charm, Extinction with the knockups, Boulder with just being in the front line with the Jack shows, which is
Oh,
really
Zeri
good
will go
items
in
because
here.
Wukong goes
Wait,
aggressive.
Seiko's on the Soraka. Is
Trux
he
is
gonna get caught
really
out?
low. Trux
No one
goes
helped.
down. Soraka
If they get
was
Sir
left
Jackson,
behind.
that will be the Baron. I don't know if they can get him on time. His Q's coming back up.
Oh, oh, good.
He gets
Hey,
Q, yeah.
okay.
He will get out and command this. They need to run now. Ari did not
It
have
is a
teleport.
4v3 right now. Extinction gets picked up by Aquino with the flash chains. Brock is just now moving towards mid lane. Can they do something? That
They're
is the
trying to bait
question.
for the Ari. Ari's here now, but
The Spirit Rush and the Dominus is available for Boulder and Brock. They can look for something, but there is no ultimate for Zeri. That Lightning Crash is, I
they
think,
get
the
the Ari.
decisive thing.
Oh
Brock
my, that's
gets found out
Seiko.
by Sir Jackson. The Duskblade and the Essence River is just one-shotting Barak there, and that whole rotation just ended up as just giving over one more kill for Barak, and there isn't really much to do. Boulder dashes in again. There is not much coming through for them. I feel like they still need to respect the enemy team's potential. There is a really strong Shaco. Dashes into the
Oh,
trap. Boulder
like
having
commanders are taking way too much smoke and they're choosing
yeah.
really bad fights, you know? It's not their like time in the map, it's not their prio, it's not
Extinction?
their momentum like Swift. Like they're taking really bad fights. Ari was in bot lane with no teleport there, and Zeri decided to E over a wall and ult at them, you know? Just like I feel like they're just like
Yeah.
way too desperate. Just take it easy. You're like if you get to that later part of the game, you could just straight up outscale them with the Zeri and the Soraka, and this Seiko does have a really nice setup here. Sir Jackson,
Oh,
he's a man of the culture. He's trying to like entertain
Kobita.
us over here.
Oh,
Oh, they do spot him. They spot him with
that
the
was
sweeper.
close. Oh my god, the blind charm comes through.
You know the
Not
sweeper. It has
much
like
will
a red
happen.
outline, so they were able to see he was
Oh,
in the bush. Yeah,
oh,
a lot of people don't realize that when you use the sweeper, you can actually see invisible like people or like people with invisibility. It
right.
has like a red outline on them, but it's like hard to tell, you know, because it's like it flashes for a second and then stops flashing. So
Okay.
it's like if someone has played the game for a while and they're able to recognize that, they will be able to like instantly like call it out.
I
And I
mean,
think that's what happened there. And Sir Jackson almost did get caught out, but was able to just escape fine.
yeah, that's just what Shaco does. Presses Q, invisibility plus a small dash. It is really something really hellish to deal with. But we now see Boulder is actually having a really good time in the side lane, up close to 25 CS, having a really good time for himself. But in the jungle, Sir Jackson is really the person to keep our eyes on. Sitting on 2k gold, finished already two items. And
Yeah.
he is the person who will one shot the Soraka, maybe one shot Wupong if he gets too aggressive. Like we saw what he did to Brock there, with like just two tapping him while he was sitting in the bush, and he didn't even realize that he was being hit by the Shaco. And he is going towards that collector. What I'm thinking,
Yes,
which
yes.
will really be like that nail in the coffin, where like he's just gonna one tap everyone, other
I'm
than
very
the Renekton.
I'm very disappointed by this Renekton build. Rushing that Spear of Sojin like really hurt him, you know? Not having Ravenous Hydra all that gold lead he has kind of means nothing, you know? Because usually with you rushing Revenant's Hydra, it means you can sub waves faster, you can have more sustain, you can produce more pressure. But him getting it third just like will put him into like a weird spot where he's not useful, but he's not useless, you know?
There,
But where like he could have been super ahead, you know? If he
yeah,
like if he rust Hydra instead of this
there.
like Spear of Sergeant, let's see if they get it. Yeah,
Oh, they
XC
didn't
does
even pull the dragon.
secure the dragon. All they have to do is
Oh,
run away here. You don't need to take this fight. Run away.
Induce needs to be careful.
Well, no,
XD.
XC flashes in.
Oh,
Just
bad flash coming from him.
they don't need to
Wupong
fight. Just
still
get
has the
out.
ultimate active. Good W.
The
River
Soraka might be in trouble.
gale
River goes
forcing.
at her.
Oh, he didn't
Oh,
see the
he
boulder.
used
Has
his
to burn
W
the
too
flash.
early.
Oh, good E from River. Barely fails at killing Kobita. And to be honest, Commanders did get the dragon, so that might be a W for them for now. But their jungler is dead, so I wonder if the side of
This tower is a
Bills
bait
will.
tower.
Oh,
Do not
boulder
protect it. Why are they protecting
one
this?
v four. It is not
That
worth
tower did
dying
not need
for
to.
sure.
It's just
And
an
they're gonna
outer
kill either
tower.
way.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do. Not only did he give a 500 gold shutdown to the Seiko, which means he has collector now and he's reset. Like the tower fell down at the end of the day as well. Like that tower's one health. The Caitlyn also had to do was auto it once and it
Yeah,
was down. There's no reason for you to just like straight up force for it, and it's a bit unfortunate that Caitlyn lived. Like a bit of an unfortunate mechanical mistake by Boulder. Once he dashed in on the Caitlyn, he had 49 Fury instead of 50, so his empowered W barely did any damage. If he went for an auto into W, maybe they could have looked to burst there or like have her be a bit more low and that play wouldn't have happened. But not much you can do. And if you're the commanders here, like there they tried turning the fight. Like we said,
yeah,
you don't need to fight. Yeah, Zeri's 3 items now. Now maybe you can try, but like at that point, Zeri was 2.5 items. You got the third dragon. You can just walk away and be happy with it. Get some farm. Yeah, you traded outer tower for your shoal point. Be happy with that, you know. There's no
yeah,
reason to like be disappointed with it, and we will see the Caitlyn pick up the Infinity as in both AD carries at 3 items, the Seiko 3 items. Like at this point of the game is very even. Even though the Bills are up 1,000 gold, I think it's anyone's game. One wrong team fight for either team, and the other team will just be able to take over. As
yeah.
like it will lead to a Baron.
Exactly. And that is the thing. Baron is like it is really easy to kill for both these teams, especially with both ADCs being on 3 items. And especially for the Bills side, they have the Shaco on 3 items as well. Induce is caught off guard in the side lane, burns the flash, the Prowler Skulls comes through,
Ooh,
Extinction
he gets out. He
will
gets out.
live. Oh,
Block that,
Wupong
right?
has to tank it.
Nice.
The Sora actually came through, but
A little bit of
yeah,
miscommunication there. I don't think like one of those two things
are
didn't need to happen,
are they gonna
and
try
they're
for
gonna.
Baron?
This is very risky. Like Baroque isn't near. He needs to start walking now.
Rock is
This Rex,
moving in now. They spot the Shaco. They know
if
where
Seiko
Shaco is. The
goes in the
knockup
pit,
comes through from the Baron. Wupong,
oh no
Akinosim
way, that
jumps
hit
in.
Soraka.
He dies.
Akinosim
So
didn't use his
Jackson's
Soraka
in the.
ult.
So Jackson is the. He uses the
He's,
ult. Will they find him? Oh, Shaco goes
they
down. The
got him.
shutdown. Barak
Baroque has
is on
resets.
Rivered.
Rivet has no flash from the previous fight. He might
Oh,
get picked off too. The
Trux is
Lux
gonna
is 1
go down
HP.
as well.
This Lux
Uh
could outplay
oh.
this. If you're the Lux, you just want to delay
Oh. Oh
for as long
no.
as possible.
TP.
Induce
The
doesn't have ult.
flash
Induce doesn't
comes
have ult.
through from
This what
Wukong.
is this Ari doing?
He lives.
I don't
Wupong.
think
Oh,
I don't
what
think
is
they
going
already
on?
realized his ult was running out, and would he see
Kobita?
the Rek'Sai and Soraka trying to
Oh no,
team in the
Kobita!
Baron? Oh my!
Why did he heal?
Ooh,
The
what am
last
I
one. Oh,
seeing?
extinction, no!
I think he's dead too.
Guys, oh, barely.
That's
One more
bro.
hit.
That's a very interesting two men on the Baron. You know, those are the two last members you want to two med it with,
I get.
and
I guess those counts as executes. At least like the Sarkas one counts as execute, so
yeah,
you don't really lose a lot. The dragon though is coming soon, so gotta really keep an eye on that one. Like 50 seconds, they don't really have the Soraka now. They are going to have it there by 20 seconds left. So the setup will be a little late. I would like to see the Bills side going there now and setting up before the Soraka is there, before their ward, the ward champion for the red side is there, so that they can maybe set up something. The Shaco really scared to face check at. Sir Jackson's kind of getting
The Commanders should give this up. Both their mid laner and AD
Yeah,
carry are like so like super close to their like next item.
they're really
Like the
split.
Ahri's, yeah, Ahri's only 700 gold away, and the Zeri is only 1.2k
Obito?
gold away. They just
I
they can
think
just
they are going to take the fight,
they should give up
but
this dragon, like get their items and then fight for the Baron. This
they
is
don't know where Brock is.
if
They
they
do
lose the
now.
dragon here, they're gonna lose the fight as well, and then they're
But
gonna
Jackson's in a good
might lose the
spot.
Baron too. Hopefully they're gonna spot out the Seiko. Yeah, they
Oh,
do spot out the Seiko on the side. The
Wukong is
Zeri's
trying
trying
to
to chase him.
1v1
What is
him?
Zeri doing?
Wukong is almost dead.
Wait,
Induce does have the ultimate.
why is he not using it? Use your ult.
Wait.
Induce still
Oh,
hasn't used the ult.
yeah,
Baroque
and
is behind
Wukong
the
didn't even
left
have
in the
flash.
Rumble.
Wukong?
Nice Rumble ult, but
Oh,
oof,
really late
everyone will die,
play.
and Commanders will just be able to pick up the win here. Wow, very good team fight from the Commanders. I'm very confused on why
Kind
Induce
of.
didn't just instantly use ult. The Zeri did
Yeah.
not have E or Flash, and she
So,
was stuck in the corner of the wall. If you use your ult there, you can just instantly like
oh,
get her low, and
Sir
oh, this
Jackson?
could be very interesting.
Oh my god, Wukong
Oh,
gets tapped, but 1,000 gold shutdown goes over to the Shaco, but it will also mean that the Ocean Soul will be picked up for the red side. And for a team that kind of wants to go for a front to back, I feel like Ocean Soul is just what the red side needs this game. With the Soraka in the back line already, the Renekton in the front line, the Ocean Soul will provide a lot. But again, 1,000 gold to CB Sir Jackson. We saw how much damage he did just there without the IE. So once he can actually finish that item, it is going to be a really scary Shaco there. But as we say that, we see a lot of people getting close to their third items. I'm pretty sure Brock has enough gold for the death cap. The ban may
yeah,
send their choice for the Silas though.
yeah. This Silas
Uh,
feels like he's kind of useless at this point, but I wouldn't go for that. Just
yeah.
go for like cosmic or what's that item where it's like when you CC people, you cause them to take more damage.
Horizon focus, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. He should have went for either that or something else. Because like yeah, you feel useless, but you're still like Silas. If you're still gonna like get a few
Or
assists or kills in a team fight,
maybe
like
even if you're gonna go tank, maybe an anathema's chains on Zeri would have worked because in a position where you actually CC by deluxe Q or like
this
by
Caitlyn's way too far
oh
up. Why are they not going on her? Like,
I
I
think
feel like they're too like conscious now after what happened
uh,
from the previous fights they took way too early. And
yeah
Commanders, yeah, the Zeri will be able to pick up her Bloodthirster and recall here. I wonder if she's gonna go for it or if she wants one more mid
yeah
wave.
she is
Yes, it is.
resetting.
Yeah, the Commanders are in a really good spot here. They need to make sure that they five-man group with the Renekton as he doesn't have teleport. You want to just stay together. You want to just group. You want to just stay in front of the Zeri and let her take over. She's at that 4-item power spike right now, and which means like she will be able to shred through everyone in a team fight.
Yeah,
And the
and
Seiko is
we
very
see
close to
him
his item.
we see CB Sir Jackson in the spot a lot this game. It's just like his signature bush that he just camps at. But Boulder is a really tanky Renekton at this point. He is
He
slowly
got
working towards
spotted,
the
I think.
distance.
Did they? Yeah, they saw him
Baroque.
from the Rek'Sai. Baroque
Oh, the
spotted that.
charm is used.
I don't think Rek'Sai spotted it, but I think Baroque saw
Oh.
that the Rek'Sai thinks so. And
Oh my.
a
Lux
bit
ult
of it.
being used on the Renekton.
Yeah, it's a bit of damage, but not a lot. And this Renekton and
Cooldown is very low.
Rek'Sai picked up the Death Sense already. Renekton's picking it up soon as well, which means that they're going to be way too tanky for this Caitlyn to do
Yeah.
anything. And the fact that Silas is going tank means that those two members will be unkillable for a long, long time. The
Yeah.
only person that might be able to damage them will be this Rumble. And
Like,
if I'm the Bills right now, I want to make sure that I protect the Rumble and let him get a very nice
oh, the
ultimate here.
TP is coming in. Rumble does have 3 items. Does have
They
the
don't need to
ultimate for
fight.
himself.
They can just leave here, go push the mid wave, go for the outer tower. What is
Why
Silas
are they
lagging or
stacking
something?
into the jungle against the Rumble? I'm not sure. Kobita is caught. He
Wait,
does have
so
the
is
flash
the
flashes
Soraka.
over the
Soraka got
wall.
jumped by the Seiko. Seiko's on the side. The Zeri needs to
Wukong?
be careful. I think
Oh,
Zeri's dead.
oh,
Or no,
Zeri
ooh, she
actually kills the
one-shot him.
Shaco. He actually did a lot of damage. Barak is actually the one cleaning up this fight. River does
Hmm.
actually kill a lot of damage. Well, wait. Oh my god, I got scared for there for a second. The snipe is trying to come through from Wupong. Trux does miss the Q. He does have his E for himself. River needs to be careful. Good play.
Nice
Flash
play.
comes from Wukong. He will live to see the Ace and Wupong and Kobita does, they both end up living in this play, and they will definitely at least get a tier two. Are they gonna look for Baron?
Yeah,
That
they're
is the
gonna try to
question.
do it. It's a little bit unfortunate. Rivet had really nice spacing there, baiting the
Yeah.
Zeri back and forth, outplaying him, and then the Zeri said, "Okay, I'm done
Uh,
dealing with this. I'm just gonna flash in your face and kill you," you know.
like,
And they
he's
will be able to pick up the Baron. Actually, this Zeri needs
really
to
need
make
to be
sure that he
careful.
doesn't let Kobita just switch out to the Baron again.
And
I'm
it
pretty
is
sure
like a
Zeri can just solo it.
it is like an awkward situation where like Baron has that one
Oh, they're
awkward
TPing.
passive.
Wait, they could be in trouble here. They might have
Wait,
just leaped the
Silas?
dragon.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Silas just dies here. He is not. He is nowhere close to being tanky to deal with this. Oh no. He just TP'd just to die again. Wupong did use the ultimate. I feel like it was a kind of a waste. They can just focus on the Baron here. Boulder is trying to be a boulder between the blue team and the Baron. Induced walks up a little too much. Kobita is being focused by the ace in the
Ori
hole. Brock
ultimate.
John, three people. Trux is super chunk. The Baron is picked up. Sir Jackson has to dash out. Trux is super low. Wupong actually gets caught with the
Ooh.
Q. A snipe comes through
Yeah,
with
Soraka
the
heals.
empowered ultra shock laser. The shutdown onto Brock comes from Sir Jackson, but River and Sir Jackson, they need to be careful. Flushed onto the box, but the damage is there. River will also go down. He is the next one on the menu for this Zeri, and the ace comes through. The Baron is still on them, but the minion wave is nowhere close to where they want it to be.
They should
Wupong is
reset
just
right
gonna
now.
tank the turret just to kill it. The Elder is up in 20 seconds, and Sir Jackson will be dead for the first 10 seconds of it. And even afterwards, I don't know if he's gonna be there fast enough. Boulder is still in the top side fighting with Akino Simp. This is not. Akino Simp is not really in a position to really beat anyone in a 1v1 right now. Boulder is just gonna walk there, just grab the turret. Akino Simp might go down here, and he is going to go down for the seventh time this game. A really unfortunate Silas game after his successful Rice performance in game one. But with that being said, the Elder will be picked up. The Baron buff is already on Commanders, and they're looking to even the series after getting one more reset. The GA is also bought for Wupong.
Yeah, all that BM that was coming in from the Bills pre-game, pre-champ select, during like the start of the game, it's coming back to them to bite them. You know, they told. I'm pretty sure they told one of the commanders members what they wanted to pick so they can bank counters for it
Yeah,
and all that. You know,
I
and
think it
that's not
was
what you will
Vivid.
see.
I think it
Yeah,
was Vivid talking to Boulder.
you got to a point right now where like your team comp, it doesn't matter if you play decent or good in the early game. It's just it doesn't do anything at this
Mm,
point of the game. Like whatever they decided to do with
like,
game two is coming to bite them in the ass,
if
and it will force a game three. Unfortunately, going AD Seiko, like we said, it's
oh,
more fun but it's not as useful. You would have rather had an AP Seiko here, using
I
boxers to
feel
like
like
chunk people.
the Rumble pick could have been something else with maybe an AP Shaco, and
Yeah, I
maybe
would
the
have
team
rather
comp would
seen
have,
that for sure.
or even like a Yone mid or something. I don't know. Like
I
it's
think if
just
the Seiko is allowed to go AP, then it's actually a decent pick, especially against
yeah.
Soraka, because you can chunk people more. Oh, he will pick up the
Sir
Ari here.
Jackson, he
Ooh,
actually one
wow.
shots. Wupong dashes
Oh, I think
over
he's
the
dead to the
wall.
Zeri, maybe the Zeri.
They're really playing split up. Kobita is low. He is chunked. Wupong is
Akinosim has the
alone.
Rek'Sai ult. Will he use
Oh,
it on
Akina
Soraka?
Simp will die.
He'd rather run away. I
Oh,
would have.
oh no, Rivered. Oh my god. The snipe actually takes down two. And Rivered is running away with barely any HP. He is just around that small HP limit of like the Elder one-shotting you. But I think that might just be the game. Wupong came back after the after his GA being popped. AFK Boulder jumps in again. That will be the end for Induced. And Kobita might go down. River is
Wait,
really
River.
strong, but it won't matter. Ugh. And game two, just like that, goes over to Commanders. And they are going to come back for a third game to maybe eliminate Bills after a really unfortunate loss for them in game
This
two.
is this is a very huge mental shift, you know, because after game one, the Commanders might have not been as comfortable. Same thing with the early game, but the fact that they were able to turn this game around and like bring the series to game three might really help them out. You know, just getting that momentum boost, like going into game three a little bit more comfortable after what happened, and like seeing all that like shit talk basically that came out from the Bills come bite them back in the ass might hurt them a bit. You know, we do see River with a lot of damage, but he
Yeah.
wasn't able to like put his team in the back as the team comp didn't favor them as much. You know, Sir
Yeah.
Jackson did entertain us with a few cheese buses and everything like that, but at
Yeah.
the end, Wupong just got way
Right.
too scaled up, and the fact that he had a Soraka just meant that they were able to like help their team like come to the victory scene. Yeah, victory scene. And
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. You think any bans will change for Game Three after what we saw? Maybe they
Uh,
might ban the Zeri or like a hyper carry again.
I would normally think so, but like after game one, that game was like a hard stomp. I think the stomp was even harder than this one. Like this one was like some, I think, mistakes being made by Bills. Like first game was kind of a slaughter with the Belveth Lucian Nami after the third minute, and the bans we saw were the same. So I feel like they're fine with just exchanging Caitlyn between each other, especially this game. Like Caitlyn has, I think, lost both games now, although it was like picked in the first phase of both drafts. Maybe we see the same bans but a different pick order. But I just don't think Zeri is like really some a champion that like really needs to be banned. But with that being said, the players have been waiting outside the game for 3 minutes while we were watching, so we'll throw it to a short break and just come back with the game 3 draft in just a few minutes.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Game 3 draft. We're already seeing a different Ben actually with Zach and like, let's go guys. It's Game 3, final game, Silver Scrapes. It's time to get a little bit excited. We do see the Darius Ben and there was some roster changes coming in for both teams. We do see two new top laners for both teams, a new mid laner for the Bills. Um, what else? Kenneth Simp went back to AD carry. Boulder went back to support. So it's quite a few changes here and there. Let me see. 1 second. All right, there we
Uh,
go.
okay. I was just gonna say the Zac ban is kind of out of nowhere. I don't think we have switched the junglers, right?
We do
Like
see
it's
the
still.
yeah, and we do see the Zeri ban actually. It does seem like they don't want
Oh,
Wukong to have it.
I, th-
As
I think this is a B1 Maokai. I think we talked about you, like we were talking with you about like Maokai is B1able, and now that commanders do have the B1 pick, they have been banning Maokai for the first two games. So now
yeah,
maybe it is time.
it seems like the commanders took their helmet, put it on, and strapped it up all the way. And we do see another Urgot ban. Oh, actually, it's gonna be the Soraka. They just straight up banned the commander's bot lane from the previous game, as they were trying to stop him. And let's see if Ixie will pull out the Maokai here, or what he will pick, you know. And we see a bit of BM coming in the chat. You guys can't see it, but we see Kobita saying, "Is that aimed for Soraka mid?" As he was able to perform like pretty good with it. He did get picked out by Sir Jackson Seiko a few times, but you know, let's see.
Yeah.
We do see a
Oh,
Trundle first pick. Like
that
this is
gives
interesting.
Maokai over.
This is interesting, you know. It's like you want to let
But
them pick Maokai, but they don't have to, you know. They can
wait,
just pick whatever
but
they want.
but isn't Trundle good into Zac? Like I thought Trundle
Yeah,
was like the pick into Zac, so I would say rather than giving Maokai banning Zac and picking Trundle, you're better off like just banning Maokai, picking Trundle and giving Zac, so that like you can actually have a way better matchup than what you're gonna end up with here. Since Maokai is also like Zac is one of them too, but Maokai has also been like one of the highest win rate junglers, especially in I think mid elo to high elo. It's just like
it
really oppressive.
It could be an actual support ban actually as
Oh,
well, because I have seen a lot of people pick Zac support recently, and it's actually worked very well, you know. And we do see
yeah.
Sir Jackson's Belveth come back out, and yeah, like I think they're trying to go back to the game one roots where it was able to work out. Let me take this thing off really quick.
Yeah. And to be honest, with 10 seconds left on Commanders, I wonder what type of team comp they're gonna actually look for. Because for the game one, they had a really hard scaling game. For game number two, they had more of an early game focused team comp where they also had a bit of scaling with this area. This game, they have the Trundle, Karthus, and a Mumu. What I wonder here is that a Karthus AD? Because that might be it. And I've seen Karthus ADCs do get some pretty good success in the bot lane. Especially you don't get too much EXP, but you can just have the Amumu roam around the map, and Karthus is actually enough just to clear the wave. And even if they go for a dive onto the Karthus, your after death passive can actually just turn the dive around. You can still grab a kill, trade kills, and just be able to be that kind of the strong lane that can handle a 1v2
Yeah,
while your support is out.
Taric pick is actually a very good pick.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this, and another pick that's still out there. There's two actually. There's the Mundo and there's the Galio. I wonder if they're gonna be looking for either or, as like commanders are very like heavy on the AP with the Karthus and the Amumu. Yeah, they do still have two picks left, but if you do pick the Galio, because the Karthus, like you said, it could either be ADC or mid. Like the Galio provides like such
Mm.
a like nice utility option, you know, because if Belveth goes in, the Galio can ult on top, or like if Karthus ults and you Galio ult on top of someone, you give them a magic seal that you come in and help them and everything like that. Or if a Moon ults and you Galio ult on top of whoever a Moon ults, you're able to counter like the whole engage that's gonna be coming in with like, you know. And
I
actually, it seems like it's the rise. Kobita is trying to replicate what or actually no, that's actually no
That's
name,
no name.
no name. Yeah, no name is gonna try to replicate what happened in game one, and I wonder what Kabita is gonna be able to answer with. Like I said, hopefully it's an AD pick. I would like to see if Yon, maybe Zed, Yasuo could be a decent option. Yasuo, if they pick like something like with a knock-up top lane, and Mazahar, very interesting. I don't know if that's the best pick. Because
Um.
Is this the
Oh.
new Aurelion Soul? Is this the new? Wait, is this one he got reworked or?
Mm,
Let me check.
did, wait,
Or
did
that
the
could be a
patch hit
bait. That
today?
could be a bait.
I don't think it hit. No, I doubt it hit. And Renekton seems
Yeah,
like
no, I didn't.
a better option here. My only problem here is that they, I don't know. I feel like the Belveth is just kind of especially with Tarek, it's going to be really scary for commanders to really deal with. There isn't a lot of AD damage. Like
Yeah,
Trundle can provide it, Renekton can provide it, but like most of the times we will see Renektons go for a bit more tanky builds, especially of late. Same
hmm
with Trundle. Like I think I've seen more um Iceborne Gauntlet than the Divine Sunder builds. So it will be interesting. They do pick the Gangplank, which is I think one of the most broken champions in the game. The champion doesn't get any kills but still hits 3 items like at 25 minutes, 20 minutes. The amount of extra gold he can provide just by farming efficiently is crazy. And once he scales, that Karthus will be under threat. Everybody will be under threat because that those barrels do a bit of a damage.
yeah, and like you said, commanders they literally have no idea. If it gets to the later part of the game where they just stack a bunch of magic resist, it's gonna be very tough for the Trundle and Renekton to
Yeah.
do anything. And I know I don't know if Ixie knows about this. I've seen a lot of Trundles what's that top lane split push item called? I forgot.
Hull breaker.
Like, yeah, I've seen Trundle jungles go Hullbreaker, Bork, and Divine Sonderer if they get really ahead and just start splitting instead of their top laner, or they just 1-3-1, you know? Because Trundle, like, is a very good split pusher usually, and especially if you're ahead, you can just, like, start split pushing for your team, start being, like, a menace to society, and start creating that pressure elsewhere, you know? And if it gets to a point of the game where you can't really team fight against the other team comp because Gangplank barrels, like Belveth Nogup's Desire Feathers, maybe that could be a very interesting
Okay.
option he can pull off.
So the question is this: is it an APC Malzahar or Karthus? I would assume Karthus, but you
It's
know
for
you
sure
you,
Karthus
you
80
can.
carry, I believe. It's definitely Malzahar mid, because like if it's Karthus mid against the Rise, you're gonna get like
No,
messed up. I think they might have
the lobby got dodged for a second, but yeah.
yeah, I think they banned one of the champs that was actually picked by accident.
Yeah, but what? I would have to favor I think the Bills comp, especially with Belveth. Like even with the Malzahar, even with the Mumu Renekton, there's a reason why the Bills really drafted this well, in my opinion. It is the Tarek, it is the Zaya, it is the Belveth. All of these champions have one way or another have some way to survive. Belveth goes into the E, takes incredibly less damage. Tarek, the ultimate, just makes sure that no one on your team dies, especially while Karthus is in the middle of everyone. The damage reduction is cut, the resistances are being stolen by Trundle, and Zaya just when she ults, you literally shouldn't be going forward because if you do, then you're gonna get hit by like 10 feathers, and then you're just gonna get one shot. So it will be interesting how the commanders will actually play this game. We will see.
And in stream I'm seeing the Gangplank turn to Gragas. So did they like?
Oh,
Okay, so they did change their pick from Gangplank to Gragas, as Gragas does get that extra magic resist whenever he presses his W, and he's a little bit more. I would have rather seen a GP. I think the GP fits that team
yeah.
comp super like beautiful, and the Gragas like doesn't like really like give you a lot. You know, it can disturb the Malzahar, it can disturb the Karthus, like you know by knocking them away, but the GP just having the barrels and everything like that, I feel like just brings so much like late game potential to your team comp. Especially with the GP, I feel like the Bills are just able to completely outscale their opponents, and like control whatever the game like throughout like the start till the end. Right now with the Gragas, I feel like the commanders actually do have like small windows where if it's the mid game, they can actually like take fights and win them out. You know.
Yeah. It's
As,
I I was gonna say, I think the biggest part about the GP is also the fact that we saw it in game one. The amount of like times where like a global ultimate just threw the side of commanders off was really like it was more than a handful. So like with the GP, commanders overextend and you can actually execute and like capitalize on that. With the Gragas, instead you're just kind of playing the lane, just making sure the Renekton doesn't really get anything in the early game, and like you can actually get a good peel with the Gragas for the Zaya, but I think you don't really care about that. Like you're more looking to play it a bit more aggressively, and yeah, I think that is just like a way better option for them.
yeah, and the number one thing I want to see this game is both Kabita and Wukong go Leanders into Void stuff straight up. Don't delay
Yeah,
your Void stuff. A lot of like this like games we've been seeing so far is like as soon as it hits 15-20 minutes, you guys start grouping. You don't get those side waves, you don't get that extra gold a lot. You kind of get stuck at 200 CS at 40 minutes. So it's better to get that like magic pen as soon as possible and not have to worry about it later into the game. Especially if they have that magic pen early game as well, it will mean that they can pick up more fights and everything like that. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, Rise with what's that item? Road of Ages. Doesn't that like stack magic resist over time? That could be a very interesting thing to watch. I feel like they're as this game. If he split pushes, he can also just like take over, do whatever he wants like later on. And
no.
let's take a quick look at the runes. I kind of want to see if this Gragas is AP or like tank.
Ah,
So I think he's trying to do like a mixture based on those runes, and then
maybe.
Renekton going back to his normal thing. I'm very disappointed Renekton went revitalized and not unflinching. The other team has way too much CC, especially against a Gragas. You want to make sure you take unflinching, or at least
No.
Legends tenacity. He has zero tenacity in his build in his runes, which might hurt him later on. And the Gragas did take squirts like he wants to
Mm.
poke for some reason. Not what you want to do.
Yeah,
Like it's a few interesting like choices. I'll say that for the least, and then we can move
oh,
on to the
ooh,
jungle.
phase rush for Belveth? Interesting.
I
Ultimate
like,
Hunter?
I think like the second part of his runes makes sense. I'm not sure
Wait,
about the phase rush. I think I've seen Belveth do it, so I'm not sure how it's gonna
how does
work.
Ultimate Hunter work with Belveth?
I have no idea. Like
I was gonna say, isn't like just like a waste because there isn't really like a cooldown on your ultimate? You're
maybe it's
just
like
like
I
getting
think if it
resets.
runs out, it goes on cooldown, so you get it back up
Mm.
faster. You keep it running more. I could see where that's like an option because usually you go treasure hunt,
Oh,
right? But
okay. I,
I'm
I got a DM. I'll ask someone. Turns out Jackson's runes got bugged. So that is the reason of the phase rush. Um,
Yeah, and
we'll
the other thing
see.
for the Trundle, I really like approach for you're playing against a lot of immobile champions against like Rise, Zaya, and Taric. So it means if you pillar them, you're gonna be able to run at them and get to them as soon as possible. And then I'm gonna save the runes. So is this gonna be? Are they gonna be remaking? I'm confused because if they're gonna be remaking, they don't pause the game. All they have to do is just as soon as everyone joins, they just quit and restart. But I
Yeah,
think
just
that's
restart
gonna
okay,
be.
log.
I'm not sure what the rules are for this, as it is a Royal Rumble. I think it's gonna be.
It is a for fun thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like since it's a for fun thing, I would like either say continue it or see if the commanders are fine with remaking it. Otherwise, the mid lane runes, pretty standard stuff for the Rise, pretty
Yeah,
standard stuff for the Malzahar as well. I'm not sure about the cookies. It is gonna be a remake to fix the runes, but yeah, Karthus, good runes. Zaya did opt for the Ultimate Hunter and Taste of Blood. I can see why she would do that, but
okay.
if you really want those things, just go for like Hail Blades instead, you know. But yeah, we'll be right back with you guys. It's just gonna be a quick remake. Sorry about that. We'll just go on a break until the game loads back in. We'll be right back with you like in a minute or two, or actually like around 5 minutes.
Maybe
Because
or maybe
the 3 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final and third game of our first semifinal series. We have some roster changes, we have different team comps, but we have the same teams, Commanders versus Bills. 1-1, a really hard win in the game one for the Bills, and then they did kind of take the game two a little soft, and then Commanders were able to come back, and now that we're at game three, a really interesting team comp from the side of Commanders, like the Karthus AD with Dark Harvest, the Malzar in the mid lane, Trundle in the jungle. There are a few champions that we're seeing for the first time in the series, but then on the red side, CB Sir Jackson back on the Belveth that he had a lot of success with No Name also on the rise, which was paired up with the Belveth in the mid jungle duo in the first game. What do you think about these team comps, Marios?
I'm kind of sad seeing this Commanders team comp. I was very excited for them to like get into Game 3, but like this team comp is just like it doesn't like really work later on. We saw like the same thing happen to the Bills, you know? They got a very like fun team comp that could like do a lot of stuff early and mid game, but the moment they get to the late game, they were just like it wasn't that they got like outplayed, outscaled, or like out like everything, you know? It was just that their team comp straight up kind of sucked towards the later game compared to the other one. And I feel like this is the same thing that's gonna happen to them this game, you know? They're playing a team comp that doesn't really like scale, or the only thing that scales for them is AP. So all of the builds have to do this game is get a bunch of magic resist items, and they're gonna take zero damage comes later game, you know. And we're
Yeah.
already seeing some trades happen throughout. And before I start talking about the game, what I need to see from the commanders this game is very aggressive early game stuff where they're able to create leads and end the game as soon as possible. Because if this game goes to 40 minutes, if this game goes to Dragon Soul, they're gonna struggle. They're just gonna get outscaled. The Taric gold is gonna be way too much for them. Like the
Yeah.
rise with the Rod of Age is fully stacked, way too tanky. They need to make sure that they create leads early and
Yeah.
create them as fast as possible.
Yeah. I think not only that, but I've been seeing a lot of Zayas just having a lot of success. Wait, we might see a really early fight here. Sir Jackson
Albus
is
caught
kind of in
out.
an awkward spot. He does get the knock up off. The casket will come through. Sir Jackson will be able to get out. But good recognition from Extinction. I don't know if he was expecting that play, Ixie. Trying to find Sir Jackson in the jungle. This might be a little overextending. But he
Nah,
does have the mid lane prio, so I think he is able to do this.
yeah, Ixie might feel a bit disrespected after those first two games, so he's trying to do something into the early game and then maybe look for an invade. So that's why we see him go for that. And I
Yeah.
think Ixie will be looking for a double crab this game, you know? He will be
Uh,
able to pick up the top lane one, and in the bot lane, it does seem like the Zaya and Taric do have the lane priority right now with the level 3 advantage, but I think the moment Wupong and Boulder hit level 3, they will be able to start bulking up and start creating a bit of pressure. And
yeah.
in the mid lane, both mid laners somehow out of mana. They're just really spamming their stuff. Oh, this
Yeah.
Gragas might be in trouble. He's out of
Oh.
mana. He will have to flash. The pillar
Oh,
does
the good
come down
pillar.
just now.
Oh, I thought Ixie might have maybe followed with a flash, but he would have traded if he did that. Outrage
Yeah,
will get out with his flash. The only thing burned from blue side is the ignite. He will be able to TP back. But Wave is in a really bad spot. I feel like if Ixie just maybe decided to stay,
he
he might have
cannot
been able to
stay.
get something.
Search action will take his raptors. Ixen needs to run straight to
Uh,
his crags and protect them.
yeah.
And this is a very nice vision setup from the red side, but I feel like they put the wards way too close to each other. You know, if you're gonna put like invest three wards
Yeah.
into a bot lane, like try to push them a little bit deeper. I
Maybe.
think they tried placing them way too early when they didn't have a lot of prio, so they had
Yeah.
to use them like there. But yeah, at the end of the day, it does help them out. They will be able to spot out the Trundle, and Trundle will lose one of his camps after trading for that Gragas flash.
Yeah. And
And back to the mid lane. Look at this like mana bars from both his mid laners. This is
yeah.
painful to watch.
Yeah. They will be really looking forward to those AP items, the lost chapter for Kobita, and what was the other one? The one for the Rod of Ages. I don't really remember it right now, but that one that gives you HP and mana. That those two
Yeah.
be crucial for both these guys because they are just drinking mana like nothing.
Mm-hmm. And very interesting is that the Carthage did start with a tier instead of a Doran's ring. That's like not something you see
Oh,
every day.
World Ender.
Decent trade there, like
Mm,
for the World Ender. He really likes this trade because
I,
the moment you hit level 6, you know that this Gragas has no
uh,
flash, so you could look for an all-in potential. And
Personally, I like the tier buy from the Karthus. I think it is not something common to see,
wait,
but
the 2v2's coming
oh,
up in the top lane.
no flash from Outrage, but Ixie is
Oof.
forced his own flash. Yeah,
Yeah,
we will
for
not
the
see a lot.
Carthage tier, I've been watching a bit of what's his name? There's this Carthage European one trick that only plays at 80 carry. Oh, we do see the
Oh, Elo
2v2 actually all in.
Santa? Was it Elo
Yeah,
Santa?
yeah. Oh my, I think Carthage will be
Oh,
able to pick
wait,
up the kill.
flash?
He did not want to invest it, but yeah, back to
Uh,
Elo Santa. He always goes like Doran's ring start because with tier you don't have a lot of AP and you can't really
yeah.
look for those early game like trades. But somehow with the tier start, you will be able to pick up the first plat
Yeah.
in the bot lane. As Nistaric wanted to say flash for the next series, maybe I'm not too sure. And
Yeah,
this Rise, just reset and teleport back. I think he's
yeah.
trying to. He has enough gold for a lost chapter. There's no reason for him to stay. It's better for him to reset, TP back, let the Manzar save his TP. It's okay if he saves it. You can just walk bot with your ult and have like the momentum if Malzahar decides to save it. You know.
Yeah. And I think another reason why tier is good here.
Ooh, Amumu's
Oh,
here. It's gonna
Boulder?
be a 3v2.
Oh,
Ooh,
wait, he
very
flushed.
wow, very aggressive. Gragas has ult. I don't know if he has enough mana for it though.
Uh-oh,
Doesn't
the
seem like he
burst
does.
is too
And
fast.
yeah, he used it a bit
Oh,
too late. He
but
needed to instantly use it on top of
that
himself.
that kind of hurts though, because the kill did go over to Boulder, and World Ender used ult, flash, and ignite for that kill. So
He did
that
have
is
ult.
definitely.
He was double Q.
Oh, I
I thought
thought
it
he
was his
ulted
ult too.
as
I
well.
heard that too. I heard that too. I know exactly. I heard
Uh,
this animation too, but I think it was his second
His
Q.
ultimate went on to the cooldown, so that's why I thought he used ult. Another reason, so the kill goes over to Amumu, and so next time he doesn't have flush, he doesn't have ignite, so he will be in a really rough spot. With, but the bot lane, I feel like with the kill going over to Mumu, the Mobi boots is completed, and I think they're gonna start doing what I was talking about before the game, where this Amumu will be running all around the map, and this Karthus will just be perma pushing the wave, especially with tier with the lost chapter at his hand. It is just going to be really easy for him to
Yeah,
do.
and I pray that this Trundle just runs to the Rift Herald as soon as he resets. I know his bot side is up, but you need to make sure you get those Rift Heralds as early as
Mm,
you can go ahead and try to Dragon Stack, but even if you Dragon Stack, it won't really matter, you know? The opposing team home just creates way too much like late game presence that you cannot really match unless
yeah.
like you're super ahead. And just like delaying the Rift Herald is not the best option. And another thing, Boulder, you know, even though he was support, he does want to make his presence felt in the top lane, you know? He wants to
Mhm.
make sure that he leaves a message after that gank. That's why he decided to take that kill.
Yeah, he was like, I was playing top lane last game, and I'm still getting kills at the top side. It doesn't matter if I'm playing support or any role else. But with that being said, we are looking at around 1.2k gold lead in this early game. Most of it actually being on the ADC, especially after that first spot, that 600 gold lead for Wukong will turn into an early Hextech Dragon for the blue side, which we were talking about. They might get outskilled, so just grabbing this early dragon will earn them some at least early game presence, which maybe if they can turn it into more dragons, they can maybe get an early dragon soul. Maybe is a possibility. Kobita does have the ult. No name is forced to burn the flash. And now, next time this gank happens, no name will be in a bit of a trouble.
Yeah, and it's a really good thing that the Mountain Dragon is the second dragon, which
Yeah.
means that it will either be Infernal, Chemtech, or Cloud Soul. You know, Cloud Soul not as you're not as happy about, but if it's Chemtech or Infernal, that's something you really want. If you're team commanders, you know, it will mean that you can scale up later
Oh
on.
my
And wait,
god.
this Taric has Flash. He will use it. This is exactly why he saved
Wukong has
Flash
flash
after level
as
3.
well.
Oh, he can't just walk away and this Belveth, I'm not sure if he's gonna get spotted. Yes, he will be spotted, and we do see Ixie moving down in the bot lane to make sure that he's able to back up his Karthus. I
Right.
wouldn't pick up this fight if I'm them. Taric has ult. This is not what you want to do. You know Belveth is spot as well. Why are you
Oh.
taking this fight, Ixie?
Oh, he has no flash either, and he will just go down. Give the ultimate to CB Sir Jackson. The kill also goes over to Akina Simp, which is not what you want. The engage
They're
comes through.
fighting way too
Interesting.
much.
Wait, they might look for it again.
Maybe they
Akina Simp
can with a
still has the
Momo ult.
ultimate.
A
Wupong
Momo needs
gets
to commit. A
pulled.
Momo needs to commit.
Oh, really
Momo should have
awkward
commit
play.
with a Karthus there. If he
Oh,
co-
the kill
and
went
he
over
takes the kill.
to.
If a Momo commits with a Karthus there, in my opinion, and he gets their ult off, and Karthus is just standing on top of him, they could easily go
Yeah.
for it, because a Momo ult means you start taking true damage, and
Oh,
we do see the ult in coming in from Kabita.
I'm not sure
It,
the
it's
damage is
it's a
enough,
nice
but
little chunk. And No
yeah.
Name doesn't have TP, so he is in a very awkward
Outrage.
position.
Outrage is getting a really bad trade up top. World Ender,
Oof.
with his AD items, is able to deliver enough damage to chunk Outrage a lot in this lane. He does have some self-sustained coming from his passive, so oh, he might be in a bit of a trouble. Ignite is there. One more auto ignite, I think, would have killed.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think he was in range for that auto since Gragas
Uh,
slowed him with the Q, so he didn't want to just burn the Ignite. And I think him having Ignite here might be very beneficial. If he focuses the Belveth here instead of the Gragas, he can actually pull off the 1v2. He
yeah.
just needs to make sure that he doesn't get chain CC'd by the Gragas C,
Oh, he
Gragas ult.
did.
Oh,
Oh, wait, Gragas
no, why
actually
is he
pulled.
using it on Gragas? Oh, no, no. He was way too tunnel vision. Gragas has bone plating. He empowered W to Gragas. If he just uses it on the Belveth there, he could look to one-shot her instead. Wait, this Rise might be stepping up too far. He doesn't have flash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
Trundle
flash,
will
but
realize
no
that.
ult from the Malzahar.
Why is he
Wait,
right? They're not
Ixie?
chasing?
Oh,
I
the
guess.
Taric was moving, I think, which
Yeah, or
scared
maybe
them
the
off.
water walking speed as well. They thought he was gonna get away, and he does
Yeah.
already have the Rod of Ages.
Uh-oh.
This rises.
The assassin of Mumu is here.
Wait, he has the Ignite as well.
Oh.
Oh no,
Oh
no,
no.
oh no, 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 oh no,
Oh,
no.
oh, oh, what is... It is really interesting game going on here. Ixie will be able to pick that up, but
Yeah, they're gonna
yeah.
move into the Rift Herald. That's a very good roam, I guess. By they're like a few mechanical mistakes by
Oh,
wasting plastic ignite and everything like that, but they will be able to pick up the kill at the
oh,
end of the day. And
no name and Sir
this
Jackson
is a
is they're
very bad
looking
fight
to...
for No Name and Sir Jackson. Don't take that.
Boulder
You
does
will
have
die.
ult.
Relic
Boulder
was on the
does
other
have ult.
side. They could
Yeah.
just sandwich them if they realize it.
I think Sir
Hmm.
Jackson has been spotted by the ward in that river bush placed by Kobita, and the Herald will be picked up. That
Karthus is
whole play is
exhaust.
really good. Karthus does
Even
have
Karth,
Leandries as well.
he should walk up. Like I know,
Yeah.
like the Taric has ult, but you have exhaust. If you exhaust his Zaya, you're not gonna like instantly die, and the Taric
Zaya,
ult's gonna fade.
Zaya does have cleanse if he wants to use that for removing the exhaust.
I
But
wonder if he took cleanse for a Momo Q and ult, and not for
yeah.
the Mazahar ult, because I used to think for the longest time you can
Oh
cleanse
yeah.
Mazahar ult, but I feel like a lot of people still don't recognize the fact that you can't.
I have really bad memories with that. I learned it a really hard way when I went cleanse smite master yi jungle against the Malzahar.
Yeah,
And
I used to do that too, and I always made an excuse after someone told me. I used to be like, "Oh, I took it for this asshole," simple stuff like that. And we do see the
okay.
flash is being invested here. Two flashes for one.
Oh?
No way he just walks away
Oh
from that. Oh,
my.
the card result will be the cherry on top.
Yep.
I
That was
thought
planned.
he
It was
no
planned.
name no name almost outplayed it. Keyword
Yeah.
almost. And Extinction, he's putting in the work the third game. He's really keeping his momentum up with the objectives. I thought Sir
Yeah.
Jack, like after Sir Jackson disrespected him game one and two by just running around the jungles, doing whatever he wanted. Ixie will
Especially
be
with the
able to,
Shaco pick.
yeah, he's able to show him that, yeah, keep playing like that, you're gonna get punished, and he's gonna be looking to Rift Herald in the bot lane here. Amumu has
Oh, the
ult.
ultimate
Just play
comes
it
through a
slow, play it
little
slow.
early.
Ooh, the TP by Gragas is coming in. Ryze also has TP. I wonder if he's gonna use it. Yeah, he's
Rise is
using
also
it.
tipping in.
3 TPs coming into the bot lane here.
Extinction did ult. Oh,
Nice
huge
move.
ultimate
Gragas
from
ult,
Amumu.
huge.
But it is a 4v3. So
Yeah,
there will
the
not.
Rise will pick up the double too. That's really bad for Mendes. You
I
don't
don't
want
think they can
to lose
keep
momentum.
pushing this though. I think Wukong
Arthas has
can like play
exhaust.
up. There's no ults left. They're
Ooh,
leaving the
double
under turret,
flash.
which is even worse for them, I think.
That's a waste of an exhaust. They should if you're gonna like try to like run
Oh,
away, just stay out of
minions
the
are
tower.
off. There are no
Ooh,
minions.
he should have
Can he
flashed after
slow?
him. I think he should
Uh,
have flashed, try to secure the Q and try to secure the kill. You
he
know
did.
Sir Jackson flashed there, so
Wukong also had the Wall of Pain, which would have slowed Sir Jackson under turret. And Worldender, he might just look to just take the turret. I think you just tank it. You just take the turret. No, no, take the gold. Unfortunate. I guess Extinction will be looking to grab the first turret in mid lane, but there's a huge wave that he needs to deal with first. Will he be able to? I feel like if he goes for this, he's just gonna die for sure. Can he pick it up? Okay, he does pick it up, but gives over another kill to Bel'Veth. I feel like this could have just not happened if World Ender just picked up the top turret and then they just played with the Herald. Maybe afterwards with Ben the Malzahar is actually into play.
yeah, and like a lot of things are happening around the map. It's a very active game compared to 1 and 2, where just one team. This game, we see both teams trying to like accomplish something, and
Yeah.
it's like it's happening. And ooh, this could be trouble in the bot lane. I don't know if a Momo will go on the Zaya. No, just like they're just gonna protect the tower. And yeah, the world ender might be in trouble here. Hopefully, he's able to like spot that he's gonna get ganked again. Outrage does have the ultimate. I wonder if he's gonna use it now or. Oh, he used his a second too early. Outrage is not gonna invest the ult yet. Now he's gonna use it. I think the world ender can turn it. Ignite is he used his W before he was empowered.
Oh, he's still alive. Extinction is here. The Karth Assault will claim Sir Jackson.
Oh, I
It
think he
does.
carded still both.
Leandri's. Oh
Nice.
my, that is the perfect scenario for the Commanders. And this Karthus, although suffering some losses in the bot lane, especially after being focused by the whole enemy team, Trucks is forced to use the ult again. He
Ooh, he
dies
got her.
before the radiance even comes down. And Akino Simp is
Ooh,
now left here. Cleanse comes late. The ultimate is used. AFK Boulder does use it again. Good
Upon got
kiting from
flash.
Akino.
Ah, he should have flashed after her. She had it set down,
Uh,
but
I,
AFK Boulder, he's a menace to society. What is
I,
he? He's a very aggressive
He's
player.
establishing dominance. Even
Oh
if he
no,
dies, even if he dies, he is making sure to go in fashion. I think Wupong just kills here,
yeah,
unless he just stays in just behind feathers.
he can flash after her. He maybe like doesn't know that,
He
but
does have 400 gold shutdown, so I think he doesn't want to risk it. He does have the Seraphs on when he recalls back. He's sitting on 2.5k gold right now. 2.5k after the Krugs. So it is a really scary looking Karthus for now, especially after the completion of Seraphs. Before the Seraphs was not really a hot choice for Karthus because of the ability haste. Now that it gives a more AP, I think it will definitely be make Karthus way stronger than before. We will still yet to see other secondary items from other people. Zaya is getting really close to the Phantom Dancer. Yeah, we see the Seraph's Embrace completed. Gaining ability power equal to 2.5% bonus mana, 36 right now. That is a strong Karthus. That is a Karthus that I would maybe like just play
wait a
into
second.
Karthus with that.
Oh,
Oh,
outrage no.
Ixie? But they're still overextended.
Boulder,
AFK
can he
Boulder
take
is
his
being
ult
hit
off?
by 4.
He's gonna save it.
Yeah. Is this
Dragon's up in
still
10
playable?
seconds. They need to be careful. Wait, the rise?
Oh,
Oh
the
my god, they're
flash is
just gonna
coming over the
triple
wall.
flash
3
on him.
people
He's
flashed
dead, he's dead,
over.
he's dead.
The flash Q
Wait, the
secures the
Karthus on the
kill.
side, he's getting
Outrage.
jumped.
Karthus is not in the team fight right now. He does have the ultimate though. Outrage needs to be careful. Outrage will die. Oh no!
Karthus ult.
No! He ulted too early. They still get the
Ooh,
kills.
they
He
get the
doesn't get
ace, they get the
procced.
ace.
They do get the ace. The casket doesn't get procced because Gragas died before he can. And even though the Karthus ult was interrupted, Commanders, they still were able to clean up that team fight, get ahead in gold, and get their third dragon. They're now on soul point, on an infernal soul point with a really fed Karthus right now, and the game is looking really good for them.
Yeah, they should force Baron as soon as possible. They're in a very strong position right here, you know? Like, if I'm them, I'm starting Baron spawn. I want to fight them as soon as possible. Like, my Renekton's fed, my Trundle's at one item, that's all you need. My Malzahar and Karthus are so strong right now in team fights, and we're seeing this, you know? But if I'm the Bills, I rather split push. I rather 1-3-1. I rather split them up. I rather let the game, like, drag out, you know? The
No,
longer
and
the game drags out, the better. And this Belveth again, we're seeing the Frostfire Gauntlet instead of Jaxo. I don't know if you heard me game one, but that's not the build, my friend. You should
especially
try Jaxo.
I think Jackshu is specifically better this game because the enemy team's strong members. It's the Malzar, it is the Karthus. You don't the Iceborne Gauntlet doesn't give you any MR. So he will be missing out on that. He will be taking more damage, considerably more damage from the Malzar and the Karthus. If he went the Jack shows, there would be stacking armor MR. He would be sustaining more. He would actually have MR, so he would be dealing with less damage coming from the Karthus. I feel like that is a kind of a mistake made by him. But I think I saw that he goes Vitz and third item. So maybe he is just counting on that. Will he able to complete his third item before things are too late? We will see that in a few minutes. But right now, Baron is on the table. A mistake by any of these teams will result in a Baron take. Outrage is actually sitting on Vision. He does use
Ooh,
his E, but I don't think he
he's
will get
gonna
him
use
out.
the phase rush.
He doesn't have Flash, but I'm not
Oh,
sure
I
if
think he
the
just gets out barely.
yeah. He does get out barely. And now that we look at the golds again, 10k gold on Karthus. He is by far the richest person in this game. 2 items completed, moving towards his third item. 2.5 items right now. They're looking to siege this mid turret. One issue with this team comp is that their siege is a little bit interesting. They can do damage from range, but they don't really have anyone that can hit the turret from range. So oh my god, those Qs are hurting for sure.
Yeah, the outer tower is super low, so they're definitely gonna try to like take it down
And
here, but
no
they
name
should
also walked towards mid, so it will give over the tier 1 turret from the bot lane.
they should definitely just like try to fight the Baron or like try to start it. I'm not sure why they aren't. You know, the Monster and Trundle
Yeah,
can easily 2-minute.
they
Like try
will
to
get
sneak it.
this.
You know,
Yeah,
you have the mid lane prio. You have your outer towers up for mid and top, which means like the Bills won't be able to push up, and this is a
yeah.
very
Oh, the
nice.
pings are coming through.
Yeah, I think they're realizing they
Extinction?
can just
Oh,
start it
they're all
whenever.
resetting right now. This is
Yeah, the
not a
Tarks in
favorable.
base, I
The TP
think
is
they
coming
see the
too.
TP. They will see the TP, I hope.
Yeah,
Zayek
but
didn't cancel
I
your
feel like it
reset. They
might be
can.
too late.
Yeah, yeah, Zayek is just
It
in
will be too
base.
late.
This is free.
Yeah, Sir Jackson doesn't have his ultimate up because he hasn't been able to contribute to any kills as of late. That means no jumping over the walls without a flash, and that is the Baron taking over by the commanders, and they are in a really good position to just put the nail into the coffin.
Yeah, Shell's in a
Wukong,
minute.
Souls in a minute, and Wukong I think will have his third item by then. He is taking the blue buff right now. He is gonna grab the wolves, and then I'm assuming
Yeah,
he will
he's getting
reset
void
after that.
stuff. He needs 1825. Yeah, he's gonna have void stuff before this fight. They
What
just
if
need
he
to
gets
stall.
demonic? What if he gets
He
demonic?
he needs void.
Is
If
this
he
the
doesn't
sad?
get void, if he gets void stuff, he just starts dealing 2 damage to them.
Rylai's?
I
You already have Rylai's on Malzahar. I think that is. But why? Why? Even demonic is better. I think here. At
I'm
least it would
confused by the
provide.
Shadow
Oh,
builds.
what?
Belveth went
Why?
the armor mythic. This guy didn't go
Uh.
void stuff when you're all P. Like the
Uh.
Renekton went full tank when they're like the only AD threats. I can see
There's
maybe why the
there's
Trundle's
almost
strong.
no MR on the side of Reds. Like there's no MR on Red side. Even Shadowflame would be good because of like even this. Oh, Trux burns Flash. He is forced to burn the Flash, and Flashless Tarek They have to somehow try to face it. Boulder is at. Oh my god, the early ultimate coming from Qualis. I'm not sure if this is something. Oh my god, the
Ooh,
flash
Momo, the
just
5 minutes.
decided hits 5 people, and this fight is, I think, just done with that Kobita flash. Easy Kino Sim.
Wow.
Evil die. They are going down one by one. The Rise ultimate is
They can end
interrupted,
mid. They can end
and
mid. They have the
Outrage.
wave.
I don't think he will live.
But
Maybe
how
he
great
will.
they can
Oh,
end.
he
They can end, right?
dodges.
Oh, not like this.
Outrage goes down. Maybe
They still have the wave.
minions. 20 minions.
Oh, why did he
20.
turn for the
No.
Q? Why did he turn for the
No.
Q?
He goes down with that, and that is GG with against all the odds that, at least to my expectation, the game will be taken by the Commanders. And I think after game one, like we saw, I wouldn't have expected this outcome. And
Yeah.
props to Commanders.
Everyone
Props to
counted. Everyone counted out Extinction after game 1 and 2. Everyone thought Sir Jackson was
Yeah.
just gonna like do the same thing, but yeah, like with the Commanders, even with this team comp, Extinction was able to pick up basically every objective and basically be able to score jungle the third game after getting
Yeah.
a little bit different in the Jiffy game 1 and 2. He was able to bring it back and close out the series. And AFK Boulder, this guy's a freaking menace. What did he like?
Yeah.
Who stuck him in the top lane in game 1 and 2? This guy should have been supported from the start. The guy's like beautiful 5-minute ult at the end, and what a great team fight, you know. He did realize that the Taric is trying to hold everyone, and for the Cardinals ult, they was able to clump them up. That's exactly what they needed.
I think, well, I will say, I think game 3, like, I don't think the bot lane really played bad for the side of Bills. I just feel like the Gragas is just, I feel like GP just made so much more sense, especially like when we were talking about it. They would have better scaling, especially at a point where I think he would have had 3 items by then as a GP in that game. It would have made the life of Commanders way harder. With the Gragas, it wasn't really able to really do a lot. There wasn't a lot of peel opportunities. The engage was really fast and like really good from Boulder most of the times. And Wupong, he did pick up a lot of kills, really good plays. Trucks not burning the flash on the first blood, picking up 2 kills with his ultimate, and then just like picking up kills here and there. He really made his presence in game 3, and with that, Commanders take it 2-1 win and move on to the finals. I don't think it will be. Do we have an interview?
I don't believe so.
Okay. We won't have an interview, so I think with that, is there anything else you want to add, Marius?
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for me, Sultan, and Matthew for this series. Thank you for joining us, guys. Cooper and Bully will take over for the second series at bot third. Thanks for everyone for watching the first series. Thank you for Matthew for the production, it was great. Thank you, Sultan, for coming out. And yeah, guys, just hold by. We'll be right back with the second series in a few minutes.